Yo, yo, yo! Hello, welcome back. It has been too long. Welcome back to Tales Unlocked, episode 6.
Six.
Woo! Brrrr, pow, 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 pow. Brrrr. Do the sounds like pew, pew, pew. We need like a foghorn and like a fog machine when we do that every
Yes,
time.
we do.
My name's Kenneth Rico, also as well too. I'm one of your hosts of this lovely, lovely show where we unlock games, narratives, and marginalized identities in the digital realm. And also next to me is Taina.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tana Moreno. We both work for Tales of Us. And Tales of Us is a multimedia production initiative. And we work on several types of content around mythologies and education, I guess, in a nutshell. And we're also currently building, we're working a lot on interactive media, exploring the world of games. And one of our research processes is this show here. I'm very happy to be here. I'm also a little bit sad because it's going to be my last episode. And it's been quite a journey. I can now safely say I'm not a noob anymore. You know, that was the whole concept. Rico, the expert, showing Taina, the noob, the ins and outs of the world of gaming. And it's been extremely insightful. The show will continue, though. Rico will be doing the show with other members of our team.
Y'all get to see other people.
Yes.
No, yeah. Get out. No. So, because I think also, too, it will give, like, we have so many personalities that work with us as well, too.
Yes.
I can't wait till Ava comes one day so she can come on and start screaming
fun.
as well, too.
Yes.
And we get more clips of everybody just screaming. But
and I'm very excited because we also, at the end of this month, we're going to have a recap show. We won't be playing anything, but we're going to be discussing the last 6 episodes we've done together. And I, for one, have a lot of newly gained insights. And so bittersweet, but really happy to be here. And I'm super excited because this game, I posted it and a bunch of people reacted to it. Like, this is my favorite game.
Really?
I'm really excited.
So if you didn't know or if you didn't see like all the blasts and everything like that, today we're going to be playing, and I got the book. Wow, Cyberpunk! Not 2020, but 2077.
Nice.
And there's so much about Cyberpunk that can be said. Literally, we were just talking about it with the programs and everything. Cyberpunk was such a big deal that people who didn't even play video games had something to say about it because it just
I guess I was really in a video game cave for the past decade.
We were talking about the promotion, and I remember living in London, and there was a whole Cyberpunk bus, like a whole Cyberpunk bus that was yellow. I was like, wow, this game is going to be great. Like, it came to obviously mixed receptions because the game was like brought out way too early and things like that too. I also didn't explain some of this stuff to you as well too.
Early in what regards? You mean?
So the game came out in November, I believe, 2020, right when the pandemic was starting to pop off.
Super recent.
Yeah. But the game came out to very, very, very mixed receptions.
Okay.
Because it was, in a lot of ways, quote unquote, allegedly broken when it came out. So there was like grand promises that they made of like this world, these things, and and there were frame rate issues, texture loading issues, lots of bugs. It was even to the point where PlayStation Network had to pull the game off.
Okay, so technically broken. I thought like a broken dystopian world and a pandemic just started.
Broken that way.
But broken like literally, okay.
Broken that way as well too.
Okay.
Yeah, broken that way as well too. But this game is also important because it is a representation of black authorship in the video game work. Mike Pondsmith wrote the original game, Black Man, in like 1988, I believe, and it evolved into CD Projekt Red pitching it up later and adapting the video game universe into this video game universe, the analog video game universe, into this digital video game universe. But there are just lots of things, like from the stories to the mechanics and things like that. But what I'll do is read a little quick opening. Oh, also, there's lots of reading during this one. But don't worry, reading's educational.
I love reading.
So, to just do a brief opening about it, So for this month's stream, the topics of dystopian realities are in our crosshairs. With climate degradation, corporate overlords, and overpopulation running amok, Cyberpunk 2077 offers a rich dialogue for what the future could look like if we don't stray from our current path. Adapted from the original analog tabletop RPG game Cyberpunk 2013, written by Mike Pondsmith, this AAA title, both on screen and off screen, has much to say about climate crisis, hypercapitalism, and the dark side of video game production, and also how marginalized identities see the future. So I want us to jump into it, because character development in this game is going to take up so much of our energy. But I think it's a fun part as well.
So the game makes a critique about the video game industry? Is that what you...
No, the game itself doesn't talk about it, but the game itself is like an actual, like, it was so many issues with the development of it that was in the news, from, like, I think Times talked about it to the Telegraph to things like that.
Okay.
But we'll tell you, I'll get into it later as well too.
Should we get started?
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
So new game, and I think we need to turn it up. Now, I'm gonna tell you what I played it on, and I'm gonna let you pick. I gotta turn the volume up. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what I played it on. I think I played it on normal.
Oh God. Okay.
I don't. I don't.
End of the world vibes. Let's go for normal.
I know you're capable of anything, but I don't think we're capable of very hard.
These guns though. What does he hold? He has.
Oh
like
yeah. Oh, so body modifications are the thing in the future.
Okay.
And so also to explain to you what cyberpunk is as a genre, like steampunk or things like that, cyberpunk is a subgenre of sci-fi. It came about through like books and things like that. Kind of like you always deal in this dystopian reality where technology has run amok, corporate overlords have run amok, and things are kind of like dark in these type of realities. Think like Blade Runner, Minority Report, things like that as well too. It's always been this subgenre that people have made lots of things off of.
Okay.
Mike Pondsmith also got his inspiration from things like that as well too, like Minority Report and Blade Runner as well. But
and Mike created the original game, which was a board game. Nice.
And he wrote the stuff, but there were other writers as well too, like his sister is an editor of it as well.
I love how he's just holding a cigarette in the easy one, you know.
Easy.
No, I want to have a gun. This one has.
You're gonna have a gun regardless.
Gun. I don't. Smoking is lame.
So okay.
Ooh.
So like the board game, in this game there are paths that you can pick. So you can be a corporal or a nomad or a street kid. They're pretty much self-explanatory. Street kid, you grow up on the streets. You know,
I like
gangs.
the fashion on the corporate one.
We're gonna get into the fashion as well too.
Excited.
Ooh, the fashion is like.
Few leave the corporate world with their lives, fewer still with their souls intact. Ooh. If you want to understand the streets, you gotta live them. Let's go for it.
You just pull out a pocket knife. Cha-cha.
Okay, we start really at this. Okay, I'm going not for the bro. I'm going for.
Also, this game is very noteworthy in terms of its creation editor, because it's one of the first games where you can choose to be non-cis as well too. So you can choose your genital makeup and everything.
Really?
Like everything. Like literally, it's that in depth.
Wow, but why didn't it start with more choices?
So they blended down some more, but that also gets into like heteronormative thinking, that you begin with like cis identities and then like deviate from them.
Oh my God, this is already a lot of.
We knew. I knew this was gonna be the part that was like.
Oh my God.
I'm overwhelmed.
Okay, hairstyle. Oh my God, that's so exciting. So many things. Okay.
So press RV over it to switch the hairstyle up.
RV?
Yeah, that's the top one.
Oh yeah. Oh. Oh my God, this is a problem.
Oh, while you're doing this, I can also read a little bit more.
Oh my God, this is already so much fun. Ooh.
So this comes from the Cyberpunk Wikipedia as well too, going into the game itself, the board game, and a little bit of like overlap of what everything could be. The Cyberpunk series is a pen and paper RPG created by Mike Pondsmith and published by his company Stonial Games. It was created in 1988 and was heavily inspired by novels of Philip K. Dick. That's the dude who did Minority Report, and William Gibson, who is thought of as a godfather of the cyberpunk subgenre movement as well too, and is and in particular the 1982 film Blade Runner, like I said. So these are things that inspired him to kind of write this board game. The cyberpunk world is set in an alternate future in which crime is at an all-time high, murder is a common sight on the street, and corporations have become more powerful than world's governments. The core of the city is set in Night City, so that's the city that we're going to be in. It's a fictional West Coast metropolis situated between Los Angeles and San Francisco. California sucks. It's really bad now. Night City is home to a variety of vicious gangs, corporations, organizations, and famous celebrities. You run into them like later into the game as well too. After a lengthy hiatus, the series continued in a new form of the core book from Testonial, Cyberpunk Red, and then Cyberpunk 2077, which is what we're playing now. So the game went away for a while, then came back with that first iteration, and then this one.
Oh my God, it's so detailed.
You understand?
I'm really speeding it up. I could spend so long doing this part.
But also from the rule book as well too, while you're doing this, I want to also read something about it as well. And this also tells us a little bit about radical black aesthetics in video game design.
Okay.
I taught this in the University of Potsdam in our Black and Queer video game course about radical black aesthetics in video game design. And something really unique about this game is what it values when you do it, right? Because style over substance is at the core of the game, amongst other things. So no matter what you do, you just have to look cool while doing it. So if you blow something up, make sure you look like you planned it, to quote the, to quote the book. So I'll read a little bit of the intro while you...
Oh my God, it's so realistic. It's crazy.
I like your eyelashes.
Right?
I really want to get something like that on my forehead.
What?
Like that little indentation right there.
Oh yeah.
Can we get jobs after this? We got that.
Job.
And this is us just going to the ethos of the game, like talking about what cyberpunk actually is. As a cyberpunk, which you're becoming right now, you grab technology by the throat and you hang on. You got interface plugs with, you've got interface plugs in your wrists, weapons in your arms, lasers in your eyes, a biochip program in your brain. You become the car you drive, the guns you shoot. With cyborg fingers, you pick the computer locks. With enhanced senses, you see into the future. And this chapter or the section is called the Soul and the New Machine.
Oh.
I know, it's like he did so much work on this. Ooh, I never got that one. These are like tribal type of things.
Maybe that's a bit much.
Ooh. You're thinking about employment after this, aren't you? So we're going to read about the world. The world of cyberpunk is a violent and dangerous place, filled with people who love to rip your arms off and eat it. The traditional
Fun.
The traditional concept of good and evil are replaced by values of expedience. You do what you have to do to survive. If you can do some good along the way, great. But don't count on it. So, being bad, being good, who cares?
Okay.
Cyberpunk characters are survivors in a tough, grim world faced with life and death choices. How they make these choices will have a lot to do with whether they end up as a vicious animal roaming a ruined world or retain some of their basic humanity. Cyberpunk characters are heroes in a bad situation, working to make it better, or at least survivable, whenever they can. Whether it takes committing a crime, defying authorities, or outright revolution, the quintessential cyberpunk character is a rebel with a cause. So you have to develop what your cause is in this game. I didn't live as a rebel on the cause when I played the first game, and I played it safe.
Okay.
And I got the bad ending.
Okay.
So that goes into this whole radical black design of you live with a cause. You do what you need to do, but you do it with purpose. I was living for myself in the game because I wanted to survive, and I got the bad ending. So think living on the edge and having a cause to fight for.
And how you choose from different causes, or?
It's the cause is pretty much baked into the narrative. you're going to be fighting against corporate overlords, but you can choose to side with them towards the end of the game or go against them at the end of the game as well too. I went with them to save my skin.
Okay.
And it was bad.
Okay.
But I was thinking like, oh, you know, like I don't care about this individual cause. It doesn't matter. Like, you know, I want to save myself.
Yeah.
And I got a bad ending.
Yeah.
So you got to live with a cause. You can't just live for yourself in this world. I mean, you can kind of, but you know, like, you know, don't sell everybody out. Don't be a bad friend.
Yeah, you need people, you need, this is very hard for me to concentrate on you. This is way too exciting. I'm really rushing through it, but it's so much fun.
Take your time.
Yeah.
This is the essence of cyberpunk. Play as your character with the proper disaffected cyber yet idealistic style. Whether you're a biker with leather skins and metal claws or a debutante in satin sporting the latest in designer cyber optics, you're going to need a certain passe, a certain flair in portraying yourself. To achieve the essence of the 2000s, you master 3 concepts, and these are the 3 concepts to live by. I'm not going to read each one of them. Style over substance, attitude is everything, and finally live on the edge. I was not living on the edge. I was playing very safe.
Okay.
So it's up to you if you want to live on the edge or play it safe or, you know, do those things. You ready for Berkheim? I see, I see you ready for Berkheim.
Let's do big boobies for once. Don't get to do that every day.
Oh, discretion there is nudity, but you know.
Wow, so many details.
It really allows you to do all these things.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really a tattoo person. Let's just not
I
do
want to
that.
be a tattoo person.
Genitals? Oh my God.
It literally lets you do everything. Like
Why do you
everything.
get 2 penis choices in one? I guess circumcised and not circumcised. Okay. Penis size also. Okay. I'm good. I don't need. Well, let's go for genitals. Just vagina. Big hairstyles.
Oh, a cloud.
A little cloud. A little heart. This is awkward.
I guess we should have done viewer discretion. Oh, but yeah, they let you do everything.
Okay.
Okay. Done playing with yourself?
Body. So much more.
Oh, so these are actually the stats of your character. And so like these affect like you being able to pick locks and stuff like that. If you want to, you can
I cannot adapt them.
yeah, but you can eventually gain more afterwards.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter.
Got it. Okay, so we go next, right?
Mm-hmm. And then press X.
It's 3 out of what?
3 out of...
Out of 7.
Oh, because you got to put the stats to something. So press A and I'm going to tell you what to put it on. Oh, no, never mind. They do it for you. You can add it later. So this is who you are. You're a street kid, your body, but you'll add your stats later, so don't worry.
Okay.
Because your stats make you like strong, like for instance, body, like rather than hacking into a thing, I can just break the door open.
Yeah.
And then my intelligence is high on my game at home, so I literally can hack the systems and make people's brains blow up from outside.
Okay. That sounds like good skills to have.
Good skills.
Do I get to pick clothes or just vagina type?
Vagina type is the only thing that matters. So we're in the game now.
I'm not naked. Am I naked?
No, you're not naked.
Ah. Oh, come on. I don't get to choose my outfit?
Oh, what happened?
Oh, what did I do?
I think it. Oh, that's cyberpunk for you. I think it broke.
What did I do?
Let's see. I think the game may have crashed. Well, that is cyberpunk.
Because it's so heavy.
Yeah, it's
Because
like.
it's really. You said this is the most AAA game we played on
Yeah,
the show
this is the
so
most
far,
AAA
right?
one that
Yeah.
we're gonna play. I actually want to bump their systems to like the highest spec because my PlayStation 5 can only do so much. I want to see what it looks like. It's gotta do the whole thing. I can also tell you.
And I don't get to choose clothes.
Yeah, you do. Oh, that's a big part of the game.
I guess, right?
Yeah. So yeah, like
Or I have to gain access to clothes.
So yeah, like the fashion in the game is like like it's so artistically like above anything I've ever seen in a video game. It's actually to the point where I think they've like pulled it out for like awards and stuff like that in terms of like the designs and things that they came up. Funny thing, I was in a video game store back in America and they just came out with an anime for Cyberpunk where the dude wears this yellow worker jacket that has like a light that goes on the back the collar. This boy came into the store with the jacket on.
Yeah.
But the clothing in the game is so it's very, 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 very like big a part of it because the style over substance thing of like
Yeah.
looking cool.
But you don't get to choose from the beginning.
Not the beginning, but when you get more clothes, you begin to like pick out your style because
Yeah.
there's different stores you can shop at and stuff like that too. I believe.
Because you can also make money on the thing. Okay.
I believe. Let's
I'm
make
very
sure.
curious.
Was it this? Oh no, we got to do your character over. It didn't say your character.
No.
It's okay. Don't worry. We'll do it like this. You were a street kid.
Yes.
We did normal.
Yes.
We won't spend too much time on the vagina.
Okay.
Wait, what were you?
I had the last one.
The last one?
Yeah.
What was your hairstyle?
I had this short hair. It's one of the first ones.
This
That
one?
one, yeah.
And let's do.
Oh no, she was looking so good.
I know. I think there's a way you can like do. Oh, it is. Let's see. Oh,
Oh,
she look like.
whoa.
Let's just go.
Okay, let's just go for one then. Brr.
And we'll give you. I'm gonna make your body strong.
Ah, you can adapt it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you're gonna be really smart, because you'll be able to out-talk people as
I
well
also
too.
want to be really cool.
You know, my coolness was low in this game.
You can just put everything up. I want everything hidden.
This how you eventually earn the points and stuff like that
Okay.
to make it higher and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's about to max out. Okay, and then turn the sound up. Okay then. Now let's do it again.
Okay, I guess I have a corny snake tattoo all over my body.
Not a corny snake tattoo. They just put that in there. And then press.
Oh yeah, beat.
Yeah. And then so. Okay.
Where's my scarf?
A little anesthesia.
Ah, it's there.
And what do you want to say?
Ouch.
X.
Shit.
Ooh, this game is-
Is that my fault?
No.
No?
It's Cyberpunk.
Is that normal? It happens a lot?
The game is buggy,
Okay.
but I mean, they fixed it down the line. But I guess with this one, though, I think this game is like, we might need to change the settings down. I think. In worst case scenario, I think we can load up a previous game.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll do another random one, and if it drops again, should I probably like lower the settings of it? Oh, y'all just y'all answered in sequence. We're doing that. But this is also part of the conversation of the game too. Kind of like when I told you that when it came out, it was very, very buggy and stuff like that.
You need to have like the most powerful thing to.
So they released this game on previous generation consoles when the new one had came out and everything as well. And they're lowering the settings to make sure it's like, what did y'all have it on? Was it on high? Ooh, yeah, y'all had it on high. Ooh, everything was ultra.
I guess not today.
Not today, ultra, not today. It was this whole thing where the game came out and they were trying to release the game for both the next generation and the current generation.
Okay.
But the
The next generation, you mean of consoles?
So the next generation was PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and I forget what that kind of like graphics card is. So that was the next generation. It ran okay on those. But money-wise, more people owned the previous ones, like the PlayStation 4s and the Xbox ones and stuff like that. So they tried to come out with it. Say new game one more time, and then I'll get your character. Who you?
I'll go
You wanna
fast.
do it? And then, so pick Street Kid. and then they were trying to come out with the game on previous consoles because obviously it would sell more if they came out on previous consoles because people owned previous consoles and stuff. Your face. But the game had a lot of trouble running on PlayStation 4s and
She looks
Xbox
cool.
Ones. And then you can pick your stats again.
You were saying, how do I?
Let me see. Oh, yeah. And then you can just go over it and then press. Yep. Your intelligence will let you like out-talk, and then your coolness will be like, I think your critical hits go up or something like that. And you'll just be cool. You can say cool things too. I'm not cool in the game, so
It's
I'm
important skills to have. I don't know what that.
Look, I don't know what that is. I'll just be like, eh. So, let's fingers crossed, hope this works. But it's so telling, like, you know, Cyberpunk got fixed and it's still crashing.
Okay, so this was like a major issue. It's like
A
this.
major
yeah.
issue.
God, they spent so much money on it. And then
Billions of dollars went into this game. Like,
it's just not accessible at all, basically.
yeah, and it was just, I played it on PlayStation 4
little
and PlayStation
anesthesia.
5. And on my PlayStation 4, it literally turned my PlayStation 4 into like a space heater.
Set broken nose, knock back a shot.
Try something different this time, see what happens.
We could do a shot and then fix my nose.
You didn't want to fix your nose.
Exactly. You see?
Oh, motherfucker.
Gotta look cool.
Everything chill, hermana?
Some bastard tried to mug me. I handled it.
Oh, local guy.
You really think somebody local tried to mug me, Pepe?
Listen, V, I got a problem. Serious this time.
Come on, spin it. What is it now?
It's, Kirk. I owe him. Don't pay by tomorrow, said he bust my legs. And he don't joke about that stuff.
There's a later mission with him where I
Cartels in
find out
his
his
corner.
wife's cheating on him.
You in it with Kirk? Every man, woman, and rat in Haywood knows he's a fucking shark.
My bro jumped the joint, deserve the hero's welcome. I know I fuck up, V.
Oh, also, when you pick stuff, blue ones are like extra stuff to say, but the yellow ones are the standard choices.
I'll talk to Kirk, but then you're gonna owe me one.
Okay, so you, welcome to Cyberpunk, Night City. And they're just telling you, you know, like what it is, things like that too. You see your map up there on the right-hand side, you follow that. They want you to go talk to Kurt. I didn't do the street kid one. Kurt is in front of you. So, oh, turn around. Well, you see that little yellow thing on the side of the screen?
Yeah.
That helps you follow stuff. Oh, you gotta go upstairs. So go up there. Oh, and a big thing about Cyberpunk are the clubs and the gangs.
I was at the hospital
So the
today. Javi's got
I
some
forget what the name of
broken
this
ribs
gang
on the brain.
is.
Jesus.
Since it's in
The bullet
California,
didn't
there are a
hit
lot
you.
of Mexican, Latin deposits. They're a Latin gang that exists in Cyberpunk, and they run
Hey,
this place.
Wanna
The
talk?
Valentinos is the name of the gang.
V, been a while? Spin it. What you need?
And sit down and talk to Kurt. He's like a loan shark. Kurt's a fixer.
Pepe asked
Fixers
me to
give you
talk to you.
jobs in this world.
Okay.
Street
What, you
jobs,
two
like
shot
selling
hand over the
drugs or
Yetis
something like that.
yourself? Tell him I don't bite. Not yet.
And you were helping your friend downstairs because he owes
Cut
his
him some
money.
slack, will ya? He'll pay. Just needs some more time.
Do I look like a priest that runs a charity to you? You borrow Eddie's, you gotta pay him back. With interest. It's common fucking
See how he's reading
knowledge.
stuff from his glasses?
You suggesting I let a
Brian.
flaky cunt who can't keep a deal off the hook?
No, you let him off because it's me asking.
You know me. I'm a man of the biz. So I need to know what I get out of it.
Know what, Kirk? I sometimes get the impression you forget you aren't from around here.
Ooh,
Pop into
tiny.
Haywood for the
I'm not gonna give him a favor.
far, far away in Pacifica.
I forgot how cutthroat you are in these games.
Getting that, you probably needing to think before you start something with a local son.
I'm open to other options.
What's this?
Grab a look.
There are ads in the
Pre-ride there on the
magazines.
page. Only 4 of them in NC as of now.
1, Rayfield Regional Director. 2, Mayor Ryan. 3, a rental service.
Uh-huh. And 4?
Number 4 will belong to my client, just as soon as you clep it for me, that is.
Of course I
I
can
do
pull it
this.
off.
And Pepe's debt is squared.
Of course! I'm a man of my word, you know that.
I didn't pick the street
Whole
kid thing.
thing's
I was
simple.
corporal in the Nomad.
You swipe the Rayfield for me, I clear Pepe's account. Even toss in a cut for you, I'm such a nice guy. My man Rick works a parking structure by Embers, club where our
Somebody
Rayfield
said they
driver
play
likes to kick it.
Nomad. That
There
was the
every
fun start
Friday
in
night,
the
like
game.
clockwork.
Is it? What,
Soon as
you just
appear,
start from a completely
security
different
cam shut
perspective.
down.
Yeah,
depending on-
so
swings up,
like the
the road
board
is yours.
tabletop
Just gotta
game, there
grab
are
the
life
Rayfield
paths that
and
you can
roll out.
choose.
Simple.
And Nomad people are like a whole thing in this world where they just move on the go, and there are clans that they're a part of and stuff like that.
Who's the owner?
Just an Arasaka suit from across the water. Spews
What,
cash
what is
out
your
of every hole in
favorite?
his body.
Life
And
path?
his name.
I like corpo.
How
Yeah?
would I know?
Yeah,
Why
because
would
you
I
like
care?
cutthroat. You can say
It's a
cutthroat stuff
hot
to people.
item, and
Like,
I
get
know
out
where
my
to
face.
find it.
Okay.
Like, that's not the most cutthroat thing.
How am I supposed to do this? Expect me to slide under the chassis on a skateboard for a quick hot wire? Fast and easy? Kirk, wheels like this got security systems. Good ones.
And so, like I said, he's a fixer.
This bitty bop works like the key
And he's just
Rayfield
telling you how to
text used for
steal the
repairs.
car.
Opens
But
locks,
fixers are like a
bypasses
major part of
identity
the world because they
authorization.
just give jobs
A
to you in the
skeleton
street,
key for all
and you
Rayfields in the
basically
city.
got to make a name for yourself in
on,
the city.
Kirk. Even
And so
you
you go
don't
through
buy
the
that.
fixers to get the work, and they're like legendary
Kabuki's tech wizards
fixers,
sell more
and they're like
magical shit than this under the
shitty
counter.
fixers,
Have a little faith.
like stuff like that.
So, we all agreed then.
We are.
Glad to hear it. Always said you were a bright bulb. Head to Embers
Okay.
in the Glen.
So
Rick's
just
in
leave the bar.
garage. Good luck out there. We'll be in touch.
So you got your job. Get used to the controls too,
Okay. Where
because
was
you're
I?
crouching now. So press
Oh.
the thumbstick. Press one of the thumbsticks in.
What is the thumbstick?
You know. So you did.
I'm crouching
Oh,
now.
I'm sorry. B is how you crouch.
Okay.
A is how you jump.
Okay.
Running forward like that, but I believe you hold. Oh no, how do you run forward? You don't worry. You should be like able to. Oh, that's how you zoom in. Because you want to be able to run. Oh no, you can't run in the bar. I'm sorry. Let me just jump you down.
Oh.
And then you need to go outside the back. Because you can't run inside the bars. I mean, Night City's bad, but you can't run inside the bars
Yeah.
for some reason. I don't know. And then, oh, when you approach a door, press X to open it up when you see that. And just go straight out.
Okay. Wow, it's grimy out here.
So
Fat ass motherfucker.
this gets into like kind of like the first kind of conversation of like that dystopian reality that we were talking about. The world is like a living, breathing place, and people are like overpacked, overjammed, like, you know, poor conditions, poor living quality, things like that as well too. In the world, Night City is one of the last free cities left because the U.S. government fell a long time ago and is trying to rebuild again. So Night City is an unincorporated city. Oh, he's the leader of the Valentinos.
Long time. Didn't know you were around.
You jump up. You can answer.
Oh.
Yep, no place like home. Got back from Atlanta a few weeks ago.
See, you got a good down-home welcome. How was it back east?
Tell you later. Got something on my
How about you fill me in now?
Ooh,
We'll give you a ride.
get in the car.
Marcus, let's go.
Get in this car. I like how you try to take his seat. Go around the other side. Okay. He's gonna take you for a ride to talk to you about something. He's another fixer as well too.
And everyone has
So
this
where to?
tech stuff embedded
Glen.
in them.
Drop me off at Embers.
Because you also in
Front door.
Cyberpunk, cybernetics
Take
are
the
like
ramp
an
back of
everyday
the
thing
bar.
now.
Yeah.
Show you
So
where
people
to
can
stop.
make themselves into anything
heard
they
of
want to
Marcus.
be or things like that as well too.
Upgrades.
Upgrade from body modifications to like illegal tech and things like that
Your
as well.
return to NC
Like
has
my
been
person has like they call them
Busy
mantis
already.
claws in them, where there's swords that come out.
Was that the one in the
Like,
beginning that we saw?
yeah.
That
I
looked,
also got
that looked
to
really crazy.
I got to a point where I had this thing in my
I'll pick up
a
something
wire
here
in
and
mine
there.
Yeah.
that cuts
Nothing
people's
major.
heads off. So
Bye. Appreciate the concern.
So, Atlanta didn't turn out like you expected, huh?
that's another club.
Went there without expectations, actually. Well, except that it'd be better than here.
Oh no, I'm sorry, actual
was it?
Atlanta.
Maybe it'll all work out for the best.
He looks shady.
So in this storyline, you left and then came back to Night City because Night City is just this deplorable place that eats people alive.
Yeah.
And you just die in it. Oh, you about to get robbed?
Oi.
Stop the car.
What's going on?
Business. You carrying?
Oh, crime is like everywhere,
All the time.
All
Just
the time.
normalized.
like America.
I was just gonna say, is this like New York? But then,
Looks like it's my
Don't turn
lucky
around.
day
oh,
What
yeah.
do you want?
to settle our biz once and
Ooh.
for all.
Scared looking man.
Got an offer for you, Patty, so listen up. Get the fuck out of Vista. Pull your boys off the street.
That's another
I'll
game.
give you the Glen. Done deal. No more
I forget
restless
what they're
nights.
called.
See how generous I can be?
Oh yeah.
Well, Patty,
One more
What's it?
fucking word.
Oh.
stay out of this. I don't know you.
And I don't know you, which means you're worth shit around here and capable of even less.
Oh.
Well, anything else?
Sassy.
Tater.
Careful, Padre. Never know who's got a barrel at your six. You neither, shitbucket.
They're like this patriot
Marcus,
gang
please.
that wanted to kind of like reclaim America.
Okay.
But they just turned into like common thugs again. So you see them dressed in like American stripes and stuff like that, but they're just like, they became thugs all over.
I am pleased to see you have not forgotten your roots. Still have the gift.
Of the
So many of
streets.
the little shits left around here.
Oh, interesting. In the
It's
comments, they're
nice
saying like how
souls
when you
to
play as a
live
nomad,
around.
you have to kind of go into the city, right? You're out of the city, you have to go into it. Okay, interesting.
And
the
you're an
street rat
outsider.
is just like came out of the sewers, basically. Yeah.
Because
And you can have different skills. Maybe the nomad starts with less skills in the city.
so
or?
that's the thing about it. One thing that people didn't like when they had the life choices, that they only really impacted dialogue. Now, when I was a nomad, I went into the city and street people did say
Pull
things
up
to me
here.
to try to play me,
Right here.
but like
I'll just
obviously
strap
I
down
could just
below.
check them on the streets and like clack.
Exactly. Because you can kill random people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take the
Your number?
Could be useful.
Father Sebastian.
Maybe we can also work together again.
Take ourselves back 2 years.
Thanks, Padre. Gotta go.
Ciao.
So go with God.
Right. Oh.
The tech that was in this game as well too is far superior probably than any other game that we played. I think
I
ray
mean, it
tracing,
looks like a never-ending world. It's crazy.
and you're only like in 1% of the world.
I can imagine. I mean, you can already see. You can talk to all the people in the bar. It's crazy. Take the elevator.
Yeah,
okay.
I'll go up to the elevator icon and just go to parking. Yep, and press X.
Wow.
And people call you on the phone there too.
Status.
On location. About to find your man.
Rick's one of the good guys, you'll see.
I believe
trust
if
him
you
like
need
a
to
brother.
run, you press in the thumbstick when you're moving forward. I believe. I can't remember.
Thumbstick.
Let me see. You press that one in moving forward, I believe, and that makes you run. Yeah.
Okay.
Something I can help you with.
You need to
Ooh, nice
find
whips.
Rick Rayfield. Turn around. It should be the dude right there, because he's going to help you steal the car. You need to go talk to
Hey,
him.
Rick.
Kirk sent me.
Camera's blind. You got 20 minutes. Do your thing.
So then go over and follow the icon on there. Yeah, and then go straight to the right. Yeah, you're good.
Kirk,
You need to steal that
I
car.
see the ride.
Your moment to shine, kiddo. Good luck.
I actually ended up getting that car later in the game. So go up to the door and press X.
Let's take this piece of wonder tech for a whirl.
So hacking is like a big thing in the game as well too.
Sure.
See, we're rich. Now
You can
fire
get
her up
good
and
at
call
it.
me when
The
you're on your
hacking
way.
game
Tell you
though,
where to
it's a
go.
little bit complicated. For me, I still get problems with
like
it, but
this'll be a
I'll
cool
guide you through
breeze.
that one as well too. You won't have to do it now, I don't think.
I don't have to do anything now?
No, because this is just part of the main story.
Oh.
Get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out.
Oh, you tried to run.
Drive. Now out.
What are you doing?
Chingados.
Drop your weapons.
that call?
You're under arrest.
Like techniques like ray tracing where everything has an individual like light source is something was like really new to put in games.
Okay.
And this has it in there because it has like lighting. You see how the floor is reflective and you can also see the top of it?
Yeah.
Where lighting sources in video games usually used to do like mirror tricks where everything actually individually has like light that bounces off of it and stuff.
It's super hyper realistic.
That's why I kept crashing.
Same shit.
Wow, she's really taking a big hit for this friend of hers, huh?
Yeah.
Speaking
Which you
of,
end up
your
finding out his
mom's
wife
familiar
cheats on him
too.
later on.
Come on, spit it out.
Yours
I'm
ain't
waiting.
to me.
Left for Atlanta, looking for a slice of happiness. Guess you didn't find it. I've always maintained it's the same for all you termites in Haywood. Born here, live here, die.
That's your neighborhood.
Looks like I was right.
You know fuck all about me.
You know.
Truth hurts, huh? Just watch your tone. I'm not a patient man.
Come on, Stance. Give us a break, huh? You lock us up, I just jerk off till trial. And then what? Worst case, we get some months. Hell, standing room only nowadays in El Bote. So, they'll probably be out early.
Are these the thieves?
Fuck,
Ordinary street trash.
And you can
Got
see
him in custody, Mr.
corporate people
Fujioka.
playing with
We'll be taking 'em
the
now.
Night City PD.
It's a waste of effort. I
Oh,
have
that
no
is
time to
corporate.
testify or
Yeah.
play it on an investigation.
Suggesting we
That
let him go,
feels
sir?
racist.
I suggest you toss them in the sea. Cuff leg's broken so this trash doesn't flow.
They're part of Arasaka, which is a mega corporation that
You heard him.
And they just want to kill the street thugs because it's already so much.
Because Night City PD.
Well, hell no. Where's my mantis arms?
This early, like, give me the mantis arms now.
Ah, that's why my nose broke.
Again.
Ah, again.
Honestly, for a sec there, things looked iffy. Wasn't sure we'd worm out of that
God,
alive.
this looks so much better on this TV than mine.
Yeah.
Stands when you do like that.
That looks
Sure
amazing.
about that.
And now we're gonna do a
Born,
little
bred, and born
montage of
like
Night
us.
City.
Hate suits as much as you do.
So the corporations are like the
What he had
real
to do.
gangster mafiosos.
The corporations are so powerful that they become
If I hadn't come, you'd be
the
cruising
equivalent of
Night City in
nations.
60 wheels right now.
Arasaka is a big corporation in this game. Militech is also another one that you'll
It was
deal
all
with as
my
well
fault.
too. But Arasaka controls
What?
so much, and
Biggs
Militech
didn't
controls
waddle
so
in out
much,
of
and there are
nowhere.
like corporate
My
wars that
tech
have
must have
happened
triggered
that I'll
you
read
on.
to you about as well too. But this whole thing of like
So,
how
maybe now
organizations
it's
can
God
eventually
ordained.
become toppling over
Jackie
the state,
Wells.
and because like
V.
Night City PD can only protect so much
you.
of the city.
You hang at the
Corporations
Coyote.
have their own private military, their own private police forces, like
Got the job to
everything
steal
in
those
this
wheels.
world,
Mhm.
where they don't even have
From
crime
Kirk.
in their sectors
You work with that sewer
because
slug?
they can't
Pepe
have
owns
it.
a
Like,
bit.
They'll kill everyone.
yeah,
I stepped up.
Gotta wonder about Pepe letting Slimy Kirk boss him around like that.
Pepe was the
Heard what they
bartender.
say.
Yeah.
He's backed by cartels.
Cartels? No, listen. I know those cartel types, and I guarantee you, None of them have even heard of Kirk. El Cabron's gotta learn.
El
You don't do
Cabron.
people in Haywood dirty. Come on. Let's go have some lunch.
Just like that. You put a barrel to my skull not so long ago.
You help my homies. You're okay in my book. No harm, no foul.
None at all.
Getting one of my good feelings.
But what?
About us. Sense a kind of chemistry, you know?
Tyler's like, no, I don't. Tyler's like, nah.
Food it is. Let's go.
And this is like,
And is it always continuing the whole game so much storytelling, or is there a point where you're more...
you're gonna be more open after this, because what happens is they have to set it up for you, your previous story, and this is you like making your ranks up to Night City. That's Liz's, another gang of girls who run this nightclub and stuff like that as well
Why is it
too.
going so fast?
It's like a montage. What? It's a montage.
Okay, but it's like, it's a lot of information.
People actually got upset because they was like, you know, we wish we could have played our way up through this, but they're trying to move the story on because it was like so
Okay, got it.
they're just showing you how you like rise through just being a street kid to like actually having a name.
And this is my homie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we become friends. That's my tooth.
This is my homie, that's my dude. Clack.
AC's legends. Know where you'll
You getting
find most of them.
guns.
Okay, I'm moving up, basically.
Yeah. Moving on up.
Matters not where you're from.
It's like, so much information.
What matters here is the
I told you loud and fast. Like boom.
Night City.
Burkeye.
The city
Night
of
City, yeah.
dreams.
So cyberpunk is a genre. What is this other genre you
Chick
said?
we're looking for.
So like
somewhere in this
cyberpunk,
building.
like steampunk.
What is steampunk?
Probably
Steampunk
crawling
is like an
with the Benevol's
alternative
kidnapped
kind of
her.
like industrial
Eyes and ears
future,
open, all
or
right?
like a historical
Speaking of
past,
which,
where they kind of like
got you a
mix
little
it up,
something.
and it's like
Military training
technology and
shard.
Victorian era stuff.
Guess you
What
need
is that
to,
series?
brush up on
Which
your
one?
dance
It's kind of
moves.
like these
Down for some target
robots.
practice in VR?
Westworld.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Like what's
Would that be steampunk?
I never saw Westworld
No?
though. Yeah. Oh, skip the tutorials.
Don't have time for this.
No,
I'm the
Jack. No
tutorial.
time. Maybe later.
Sure, sure. Mañana.
So this is your
Mañana.
first job.
Let's do this.
So you're getting ready.
I didn't pay attention to the actual job.
They just no, don't worry. You don't need to know this
Elevator.
job.
This
Okay.
way.
You got to pull somebody out. That's what the job is. You got something from somebody. Follow him though. That's Jackie, your friend.
Yeah.
And then turn around and press the elevator. Oh, turn
What's
around.
up, Jackie? You can't
What's
help
up,
me?
Jackie? Go to the elevator. Yeah.
Which one?
Oh no, it already. Yeah, it's doing it for you.
Okay.
Target's Sandra Dorset. Target's Biomon went mute a couple hours back. Suspected abduction. Target could have possibly flatlined already. Not sure you're in time.
We're in time, Bug. We.
But we have to kill her.
Sure you're on phones, but
We have to
that'll
get
make
this
you
woman
an
out.
part of the squad.
So,
Charming.
people are so rich in cyberpunk that when something happens to them, the trauma team comes. And the trauma team, like health insurance nowadays, is only for like elite people. They actually develop a way to bring people back from the dead, and they have like a grading system that if you die, they can bring you back. Like,
If you're important enough.
yeah, if you have enough money. The person they're like a corporate person, and they went under, but the trauma thing wasn't activated, so they sent somebody
Looking
to
for
go get them back.
1237. Target should be
Press
inside,
Y to
but
get your
I got
weapon
zero
out.
eyes on her Biomon. Fingers crossed it's not too
How do I
late.
shoot?
This life or
Press
death
pause
shit.
so I can tell
Hurry.
you this too, so you don't feel. You hold this to aim, and you hold that one to shoot.
Okay.
And oh, somebody
Try
was
hacking the door.
and like
Think you can
that.
trip it on your
But then
own,
you
V?
press that one to shoot.
Okay.
The hacking part is about to happen.
The hacking part?
Yeah. Let me see this one. Let me see it. Where is it at? It may be easy to do. Where is it at? Hack the door.
It's right behind.
Oh, I'm sorry. They this brings on your vision to look at stuff. So sometimes when you get better vision and stuff like that, you'll be able to like hack things remotely and stuff.
Okay.
Like what happened? Like so you're able to see like circuitry and stuff like that in hubs and internet and stuff like that. So I can remote hack things by holding that, and then I'll just go over and press X. Let me see. I think it did. I'll do it. Oh, execute. I'm sorry. You press X to execute it, and then it was there. You'll do it later, but not too much in this one. So follow him. You hear the music?
Am I aiming it? I feel my gun is crooked.
No, you hold this one to aim. That was the other one where you bring up your thing.
Oh yeah, the vision.
Now you can do this loudly or quietly if you want to.
Okay.
Which way you want to do it?
Loud. Live on the edge, right?
Yeah. So follow Jackie. Just move up forward. Yeah, go to him. Keep following him.
Are we fucking late? Is that her?
Go over.
Is that
Oh,
our
this
target,
is the
V?
one they want to bring back? Oh.
Look at her. Press X.
Sandra Dorsett's protected under Echelon 2 Corpo immunity. Our girl's top shelf.
Oy.
This one's packing black
So
market
people in this
Zetatech
world
repros.
like rip people's parts,
Typical
like they
back alley
steal
fix-ups.
them and like rip cybernetic
lucky
parts
girl.
out of them.
Let's keep
Oy.
looking.
Kind of like organ harvesters, but I feel so bad bringing you to this world. You're just not ready.
No, I think I have like some preparation that happened.
So go up to the door and press X.
Mira, eyes up. Pendejos ahead. Drop it quiet, V.
So I'm gonna teach you. Press B. Go up to him slowly.
Steps, V. Enemies watching.
Just go up to him slowly. You're doing good. Yeah, just go up to him slowly. Keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving.
Shoot him in the ass.
No, just go up to him slowly. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Press X. You want to snap his neck or you want to put him in the thing? Yeah. So that's how you silently take people out.
Okay.
Also, you can always
Oh,
search
it's
things.
music.
That's what I told you. Like Burkheim. That's health and stuff like that. So press X. When you see that little icon, that means stuff is in the box. Press that. You press up on the thing right here when you need to get health, but you don't need it now.
Ah, no, it's Fuck.
You don't need it now. So back up and follow. Go in there. Yeah, no. Turn around. Yeah, go straight. Go into the other room. Yeah, you're doing right. Go straight.
It's quite dark.
Yeah. Press. Go.
On your toes.
Yeah.
More bodies incoming. They're almost on you.
What do I do?
If you want to take these people out loudly, you can, but you can also do like how we just did on that last one. They're in the room next to you to the left.
Chance. Pick the prick off.
So turn around.
Oh, this is my homie.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, shit.
You want to shoot him?
Oh, I thought I was about to take him out.
No. So turn around.
Wait, let me get this. Do I want to equip?
Cabrones. Ticas.
No, turn around. Oh yeah, you can get him.
One down.
Take one of them down.
Quiet.
Now you can do that same thing I taught you, or you can shoot.
It's B, right?
Yeah, X. Go.
Suerte.
Yeah. Now you can kill him or do a non. Oh, shit.
Live on the edge, right?
All down. Then meet. Probably not the last of them.
So then go straight,
I'm behind you, V.
and then
Tunes.
you lost in the music. Oh no, wait, turn around. Yeah, turn around. Go straight. Yeah, go straight to that door.
I barely see anything.
Oh no, we're gonna get out of this dark place soon. Make a left. Go straight. And then those people are in the room to the left.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So there's like 5 people
Wait,
in that
there's
room.
something there.
Oh, you can pick up some more hypo things. That's like medicine for when you get hurt. Yeah. So back up, and then go to that room. You lost in the beat. That's one person. Then the X should come up. Back up a little bit more. It's not. There it is. Yeah. Do it.
I mean, we want to kill everybody, right?
Yeah.
Right? Is that
Yeah, you do.
or is there a reason why we would do a non-lethal takedown?
So, oh, they see you. Go.
Go where?
No, he didn't spot you. So go to the right. It's one dude in here. You good? Yeah.
That's my homie, right?
Yeah, that's your, that's your homie. Go to the left. It's that dude right there. He gonna see you though. He see you. Shoot him, Diana. Shoot him. Shoot him. What the Wait, why did you put the gun up?
I don't know. I feel like I should practice shooting first. I just started pressing.
Why did you put the gun up?
I started pressing everything.
Where is it?
Oh, do I have to start over?
So let me show you something.
That's annoying.
So, oh, you just going for it.
Hey! Where's my gun?
Press,
God damn
you
it.
press Y. Don't press Y. So when you press Y, it puts the gun up. You just hold
Okay,
it.
now I went for loud, I guess.
Now you're loud. So press that and then shoot. But when you press Y, it puts the gun up. So follow Jackie. Yeah.
No way. Not neither.
Where?
To the left. Go. Yeah. Oh, shoot him. Get him, Diane. Boom. Shoot. Bop.
That's not it?
No, it's the bottom one, not the bottom one. You get it. Don't worry. You got it. You got it. Yep. Oh. Now here, press the up button right here.
Heal, bitch.
Oh, you didn't pick up no medicine.
I'm dead.
So, take a drink of water.
Okay, yeah, I get overwhelmed.
So, you didn't. The reason why you didn't heal because you didn't pick up no medicine. So that was right. You're supposed to pick it up before. So don't worry. So remember, hold this, shoot like that when you're holding it. You can also, when you get medicine, you'll press this up to heal. So if you want to do it loud, you can. Just hold it.
But then the others will hear me and they'll start catching me, right?
I mean, but yeah.
That's true.
Do it. Yeah. Boom. There you go. Got one. Now go forward.
Wait, there was medicine around me, or I don't have time for it.
Oh, kill them first though.
I don't.
Right there. Yeah. Press.
Definitely don't want a slug in your back.
No way.
Oh, to
Not
hit
neither.
people, you press this one in.
I need medicine. Do I need medicine?
Press X. Yep.
What am I doing?
You're like ducking. So press X. Yeah.
Why? Okay, help.
You look at it and then press X. It's okay. Wait, so then you let me just get you a lot of medicine, just in case.
I think I'll need it.
You're gonna need a lot of medicine. So then.
It's like an inhaler. Oh, boom.
Yeah. You're good now.
Okay, so this is point and then shoot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Find Sandra Dorset.
So go up to the left. Shoot him. Shoot him. You put it up again. Press Y. Press Y. Good. Press Y again. Press Y.
Oh,
Y.
How do I aim?
The left
Oh, yeah,
trigger.
okay.
Yeah. You got it. Go. Press the up button. Press that thing to heal. Yeah, good. Press it. Yeah, you need that. Yeah, good. Okay, you got it. Don't use all these ones now. Back up down.
I don't get it. I'm not good at this.
It's okay. You're holding it. Now press the right trigger. Yeah. You might need to move up a little bit further to see him. Start with the dude on the left. Okay. Oh, yeah, good. Johnny just running out there. Oh, you shot the grenade, Tiny. Heal. Yep. Now. Yeah. You kill him.
There's so many people.
Heal.
I love that it's an inhaler.
Yeah, you got it. Heal. Yep. Yeah, you got one. Back up though. I mean, just don't stand in the middle and shoot him. Back up. So let me do this part for you. So you have to like also do cover while you shoot.
I'm getting there. Do I have to start all the way over?
No. Okay, so look. Remember.
You do this part.
Yeah. We'll start now.
You're not gonna take any medication. You're good at it, so you don't need it. Look at your fucking aim.
So when you're near the wall, you automatically go into cover? Oh, you got a bullet.
Scabs are still falling. Clean it up, clean it out.
Clean it
Don't
up,
want to
clean
bring
it
the
out.
target out under fire. And definitely don't want to slug in your back.
Use the with the RID!
not
You
me.
got this!
Oh, you know what? I don't think your auto aim is on too. So you were aiming manually.
Yeah.
I think you were aiming manually. Okay, everybody's cleared out. Oh no, somebody's left. Oh, there's also this thing of meleeing. I should have. Oh no, we don't need to melee him. He's big.
Nail him.
They like hit him with a thing like that. Because if you don't have like gun, you can knock people. But that man's really big back there, so we're not gonna do that with him. We need to get this. Some enemies are like heavier, and so he has a little bit more life. That comes with the RPG aesthetic about it as well too. In RPGs, you have stats that you can build upon and everything. So you just saw how the handgun thing went up. The more you use stuff, or the more you do stuff, the more you learn. I can give you this
Ooh,
gun.
that toy. Ooh. Bring it on. Well, not with my aim, but I'll just be like.
This is who you have to save. Oh, it switches it up.
What do you mean?
Oh no, wait, is that? Oh, I was about to say because it's always a woman that you save. I thought because you chose to be a woman that you plotted as a man.
We make it?
So this is the person we're trying to save before they were trying to hurt something.
V, jack into our bio.
Oh, I
You know
thought
what we're dealing with.
Jacking in.
And so everybody has like hardware that you can jack in and kind of like see what's inside their brain and stuff. But they put like a virus in her to
Sandra
block
Dorset,
the trauma team from coming.
NC570442. Trauma
But
team
wait a
Platinum.
second. Is she is a high-level corp person?
But somebody kidnapped her.
Okay.
Guessing
And
the
am I not
January
against the corp people, or I'm just like I'm a
But you're just doing a
for-hire
job.
body?
Yeah, you like
Yeah.
freelancer kind of.
Whatever. Give me money. I'll run for it.
Like Berlin.
Just hustling my way through. Got it.
Just like that. And
Scott Muncher's hack, huh? Got an idea. Check her neural cord.
I
Find the
believe.
shard. Yeah, pull it. That'll be what's muting the biomon.
Okay then.
Found the shard.
They put a
Removing
shard in her to block
Check the biomon.
the
Anything change?
trauma team from coming to save her.
And this game is from the US. Made, yeah.
Oh no, CD Projekt Red is based in Poland, I believe.
Okay.
But the concept of the game
Bioenclave
originated
trauma will
from
be
Mike
here in
Pondsmith
3
in the US, yes.
And is he still alive? Was he involved in the making of the video game?
Yeah.
Like,
He was involved in everything about it as well too.
but he never made a. Is he in the gaming industry?
No, so yeah, he made analog games for this one. So he always. So when we talk about the video game industry too, or video games or games in general, there's analog games and there's digital games.
Sure.
Analog games are things like Dungeons and Dragons, Magic Magic. That's like card games though. But other games that are like RPG tabletops where you like pick who you want to be and there's like a story behind it and everything. Then there's digital games like this, how we play as well too. A good thing about that black video game studies book is they do a history of all the black video game analog creators. Because Mike Pondsmith is one of many other black video game analog creators who made tabletop games and like all these things as well too. Look at that man! Wait, stop.
But was it his first time going into the video game industry, or he was
I believe
already...
it was his first time going into the video game industry, but he was already in the analog gaming industry
Exactly.
of Cyberpunk. Because the game came out in like 1988.
Exactly.
And it had been around for a while. It had a hiatus, then came back as well too. And so what you're now about to witness is the trauma team. So in the future, if you have money, you can afford health insurance. So when you go down, they come.
in the future.
Yeah. Well, in the in the present, because that's pretty much now. That is pretty much now, yes. And we need to lay her down.
Okay.
And these are like doctors and ambulance.
Hardcore.
Place the patient on the ground.
Reminds me a bit of this aesthetics from, what is this movie again?
Which one?
With, I don't know anyone's name, of course. This model, she has this orange hair, she has this white.
Fifth Element.
Element, yeah.
That's very, very much cyberpunk-ish as well too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's overcrowded populations, they're sleeping in bunks and stuff like that. That goes along with the subgenre of what it is as well. Because Mike Pondsmith quotes things like, I think The Fifth Element was a book as well too, which also got adapted actually.
And how did you relate this to the classes you thought? You were talking about how,
So-
I mean, he's a black game creator, but in what capacity was he involved in this game?
So the source material, everything in the world. Why the papers just fly up like the source material? Damn, they really need to move that man.
What is this?
Man, you killed.
Why is he like
I got
that?
this thing.
Vogue.
Slay.
And I did with Misty, but I can't.
Stop.
How's it gonna work for me?
Won't leave you hanging, Jeff.
Mike
Don't get
Pondsmith
used to it.
advised them on stuff like the story and things like that as well
Yeah.
too. Because like I said, I didn't play the tabletop game first. I played this first. Like I think a lot of people now have as well. But there was things that I didn't understand until like I read the book and I was
Okay.
like, oh, that's why that is. That's why it's
She's
important
all
to
yours.
invest in my cool meter.
beat as it
That's
is.
why I shouldn't like side with corporations. Like it's all written in the game,
Yeah.
kinda.
Should get Wakako
But he
on the
advised
hotline.
them, and there's actually a
Job's
video
done.
of him playing.
Because how were
it.
you? What were you saying in the beginning again? It's like the values. You're saying like what was it over substance?
Style over substance.
Style over substance. How do you feel that relates?
Like, so in this game, literally, from the clothes you wear, you can
be
even
long?
put attributes to the clothes that you wear. So in the beginning, there was like fixed attributes where like a certain jacket would provide you like high cool levels, but it would also give you like high armor levels as well too. So when people would shoot you, you would kind of be like, because it was a cool jacket.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just about wearing a cool jacket. That cool jacket also gave you protection from bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah, and stuff like that too.
And how do you feel that reflects Michael as a creator of this game, for example?
Like literally, I think when it comes to a game that puts something like style over substance, it harkens back to like Black American cultural like iconographies of like the 70s and black exploitation movements and stuff like that, where how you look is just as important as what you do, or like the shoes that you wear, or like what you say, or like looking fly, looking cool and stuff like that. I never saw something like
course
that
she's
in a
alive and
game
well.
before.
That's what we
And when I
agree,
read it, I was
isn't
like, you sound like somebody black wrote this.
Yeah. you had that.
Yeah, I was like,
Before you knew.
yeah, before I knew, and it was
Okay.
Mike Pondsmith, he wrote it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was really, really crazy, some of the stuff that came about from the game as well, too. You're not shooting nothing after this, so you can just walk along.
So in one sense, you have this kind of like the style becoming like a main element of
Thanks for the heads
not
up.
only what you wear, but also
Swing
how
by
you
to see
do
you
things,
later.
right?
Words out the
And
NCPD is gonna put
maybe the
Watson
bluff,
on
the
lockdown.
game you bring into it,
Sleep
the
in my
yeah,
bed
the
tonight. We better
style
put
you
it
bring
in
into.
fifth.
If you're gonna blow it up, blow it
Leave
up.
it to me, chica.
And
well,
make it look like you. He
What,
gonna
in what
drive.
other elements would you recognize?
Like, really with this one as well, too, and yeah, you can get in right there. Like, what's really, really cool about the game as well, not only is it the whole thing of the attributes of the clothes and stuff like that, the guns and the rich lore that he wrote for the game, like from the manufacturers of the guns to how the guns actually works to the corporations that own it, to like the food systems and stuff like that, to the economic systems, to the history, the
He
wars.
created a whole. It's like Lord of the Rings. It's like Tolkien. Okay.
And other people also
City
wrote
like
with him
any
on
other.
it, but he also says that like he got like a lot of inspiration from the previous thing of like Blade Runner and stuff like that that really constructed this idea for him. But like literally like
Adam Smasher.
when they say like Adam Smasher, that's a real person in the entire lore and stuff like that that
Okay.
you run into and stuff like that. And in the game there are these things called solos, which are like famous people that you meet. for instance, in the
Jackie,
future of the
they're
game, the
locking
internet
down Watson,
crashes and
remember?
everything gets deleted. And so they call it like the data died, I think it's called. A famous net runner, and net runners are people who can hack systems and stuff like that, crash the entire internet for everybody. And later in the game, I found his body. Oh, yeah, you got killed.
Where's the automated thing?
Oh, for a start, let me make sure that's all for you too.
Yes, please.
Why won't you let you? Oh, you can't do that now.
Hold tight, V!
I don't think you even died during this part, to be honest. I think it's cinematic.
That's what I thought, but now I'm being all shot up.
These are just lonely thugs. They're not even a gang, I don't
V!
believe.
Aim for the driver!
I'm trying, homeboy. Let me reload. Okay, you got
Igalo!
Just like that, they just start shooting you. They're like, let me shoot up these random people.
it. I think it's connected to the body of the person that we got.
Right. We did just commit a crime.
Well, they were committing crimes, so we
focus on
gotta commit crimes with them.
How do I automatically do the thing?
Press start. I think it's not on. Go to, let me see. Oh, no, it's not. Start. It is.
What is this 1%?
Oh, 1% of the game is done.
Really?
I think you are on graphics controls. Is auto aim on for you? Input?
Gameplay.
Gameplay. I think it's gameplay, and then it's auto assist standard. Light. Oh, it was on? you was assisted. You were being assisted.
She's not so good at shooting.
What was I about to say? Oh, but
It's interesting because it's so, like, there's so much information. We're having such an interesting conversation, but then I also immediately forgot what we were talking about just now.
oh, they having a lockdown.
You're also talking about like this, the deep dive, and
does the
how you
lockdown
just
do
have
for
this
the
lore
nerd?
that goes on
Necessary
throughout.
security
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you have these
Officer,
characters
ma'am.
that come back. You have these
Damn, are we ever
real
lucky we ran
events
into
that
you?
kind of
Really?
carry the
What's it
story.
that
Like,
makes me so special?
there's like a data dive where the
Yeah,
internet
heart of gold.
crashes in 2020.
'Cause only
And so
somebody
this is
with a heart of gold can
2077.
understand
So
just
it's
how
further
much
back.
I need
There's a
back
famous
to my
net
girl.
runner. I wrote his name down. I think it starts with an R.
Girl?
He crashed the web, and in the
Uh-huh.
game, you're just in the
Gonna be
middle of the
worried
fields,
sick
and
if
you
I don't
find
show
his
up.
body.
I mean,
And he was like in
trying to
a
be a stand-up
frozen
guy.
refrigerator, just
me a
dead for
chance.
years. But like, people
That's
have
a
really
shame.
affected the world. Johnny Silverhand, which is like a big, Keanu Reeves plays Johnny Silverhand in this game.
Let them through.
He's
Keanu
But they
Reeves
laugh.
plays him in the game.
Okay,
he's
on
like
your
the
way.
person who voices him, but it literally looks
Okay.
like Keanu Reeves when you
Okay.
meet him. And Johnny Silverhand did this thing in the world where they nuked Arasaka, which is the corporation, and they nuked the building and destroyed like the entirety of
can
like
be nice
75% of Night City. And there was like a whole red phase where the entire city was
always.
like a fallout,
always
and then
never
they
not
rebuilt
nice.
the city afterwards. So you live in this world where that already happened
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But the lore and stuff like that had already been established by Mike Pondsmith and stuff like that
Yeah.
years ago. Oh, this is
And are there
interesting.
more actors? Is that a common?
Yeah, you know, like this is like I said, this is a big budget game. They spent billions of dollars on this game. Oh,
I
look
mean,
over there.
It definitely looks like it. Okay. Some random
So this
violence
goes into
for
the
you.
whole
Oh.
thing of dystopian realities and hyper crime is everywhere. But these are
Doesn't look like your average bust.
These ain't your average badges. That's Max Tac.
not, I know.
These apex predators.
So
MTAC
Max
rolls
Tac
in when
is
things
like
fly
the
out of
creme de
hand.
la creme of like
Dogs
social
out there, though.
controls, if you want to call them that. What happens in this world is people can get so much cybernetics on them where they turn into what do they call them? Like cyber freaks, kinda. They go crazy, and Max Tag comes out and like puts them down because
Okay.
you can get so enhanced that your body
You're
can't.
almost more robot than human.
Yeah, there's actually a game called Maelstrom where they're nothing but robots. They're not even human anymore. To the point where like their faces are exposed with like metal, like they don't have any human parts about them anymore, and they just do drugs and kill people.
Almost at your place.
What about you?
But it's like that also conversation of like Afrofuturism and what the future could be for some people.
Sure about
Because
that?
like in this future, what Mike Pondsmith imagined everything's gone wrong. Like from like the climate to the politics to like the economics, like the people.
And how do you think that reflects Afrofuturism?
Like it's like a way of them seeing it, literally kind of like this way of like extrapolating like what this future of America looks like for me. Because there's
From the point of view, from the black point of view.
yeah, because like
looking
this,
at the police systems and
yeah, it's like this whole thing of hyper surveillance that goes on as well too. Like all this other stuff as well. Where
what if the stuff that is already going on now
you know?
gets hyperinflated, kind of that from that point of view.
Because some of this stuff is like, wow, this is kind of happening now. Like, you know.
Exactly.
But when they wrote this, like when he wrote it like in 1988 and then expanded on it some more, I'm pretty sure lots of like modern politics was affecting it. You're going into your apartment now.
Did I lose my friend?
Yeah, he went off back home.
Oh, how do I go home?
The elevator key is right there. Right there? Mm-hmm. And you press X, yeah. So you stay in a mega building, and mega buildings are like these large infrastructures that house people.
Forgot earlier. A runner I know has something you could probably use. Zip in your deets.
I feel like you should.
And you said you got an apartment at one point, so you can purchase. I guess you unlock. Exactly. You do these jobs, you get money, you can buy clothes, you can buy stuff, you can buy guns, you can upgrade yourself.
Like my apartment's in the gentrified part of the neighborhood, so literally like they gentrified the neighborhood, and I just moved in. So it's like who I want to be in real life with money. So the mega buildings house all these people, and they're kind of like cities within themselves. You literally are crammed on top of one another in these places. Interesting thing when we, oh, look, the body needs to tweaks. Oh, you can change yourself in the mirror if you need to. That's all they were saying.
I have a cute flat.
I know it actually is cute. You can take a shower if you need to. You look in the mirror. I actually like your hair.
Yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
Change appearance. Let's go back to the fun stuff.
Right.
No, I want to change appearance. How do I do it?
You go to the thing again. Oh, back up. And press X. Oh, somebody said something in German. Oh, cyber psychos. That's the name of the people who go crazy.
Cyber psycho.
Thank you in the chat, Fritz. Cyber psychos are the people when they get too much in them, they go crazy.
Okay.
And whatever they call it, Max Tag, they'll come out and put them down if they need to.
Okay, I don't have to keep the same thing all the time.
Nah, yeah, you can change it up.
Okay.
It's the future. You can change your body into whatever you want to.
Great. Okay, let's not complicate things. What about clothes? I don't get to pick clothes?
You gotta get some more clothes.
No, it's okay. Let's go back to killing people.
Why'd you say it like that?
Let's go back to the mission.
Let's go back to America. But
check your weapon stash.
If you look over there too, you just love looking at yourself.
Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. I wanted to pick up this thing that's shining next to me. There.
What is it?
What is
yeah.
it?
Oh, press X. Yeah, that's your thing for your life. If you turn over.
What about this?
Oh, that's just the mirror again.
Okay.
And look to the left. So there are advertisements that play in your house. So this is like hyper capitalism. You never escape it.
Jesus Christ.
So like literally like.
Can you imagine? It's just like, can it get any worse? Yes. They can implant it in your brain and make you look at it all the time.
It's everywhere. When you sleep, when you eat. Another crazy thing when I'll read to you.
Bolshevik vodka, really? Okay.
When I read to you about the agricultural system and climate degradation, there's no such thing as kitchens in your home anymore.
Because
everybody's always eating on the go. People don't stop and eat anymore.
Wow.
So only the rich people have kitchens in their homes. Everybody else.
You're just doing like maybe these like bars that just become whole meals, right?
I'm gonna tell you because he also wrote the lore about what food is made up of in the future as well too. And food is made up of this thing called I'll have to look it up again, but I'll read it to you. It's this process type thing called not chum or something like that. I forget what it's called, but basically it makes up 80% of everybody's diet now of poor people, and all you eat is this genetically modified thing, and it replicates real food, so they shape it to look like real food, but it's all fake.
Okay.
Only rich people are allowed to eat or have the access to eat good food now. And what happened since global warming has happened and everything has been taken out, places that used to be frigid and uninhabitable or like very cold are now the most places to grow food at. So Alaska is a place where you can grow food at now in this game.
Okay.
Because the temperatures have risen so much and everything has gone down. And literally America and Europe are the only producers of food in this world, I believe. And America's farmlands, its orchards, and everything have burned away. So they don't have oranges, they don't have like fresh fruits, anything like that. It doesn't exist anymore. It only exists in certain places. And I believe that people can only have access to fresh food when they work for the corporations. So everybody else, you eat fake stuff.
Gnarly.
Yeah, welcome to the future. You can check on your weapons if you want to, or you can go to sleep.
Where was my weapons again?
Oh, turn around. Open it up.
Ah, okay.
Press X. And then you can look into...
Oh, I don't have so much yet.
So you get legendary weapons in this game, and then you can like start putting them into your closet. Like on my game, it's like filled up, but I haven't filled that
Okay,
side
I don't
up.
have anything, so there's not much to see.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then you eventually get weapons that can like shoot through walls. There are like smart
Sick.
guns where they hack and track people, so they just curve.
And that just depends on the amount of missions I do.
Or what type of character you want to play as well.
Okay.
Because I became a net runner, so like I said, I don't even leave the car. I just hack the camera system and blow everybody's brains up.
Yeah.
And just like sit in the car.
Interesting.
But then when I first played it, I was a gunner, so I just went in and shoot everything up.
It's really a complete game. I mean, you have to really spend quite some time to kind of
That was me.
get to know the world. Yeah, of course. Check a weapon stash. I mean, they're suggesting for me to check my weapon stash, but I don't have anything interesting to see.
But somebody's calling you.
Okay.
Look at your beauty sleep. No matter.
Kibble is the name of it. Yes, thank you.
Think I
Fritz is
might
there
have
for
caught
me.
something.
Kibble is the name of the
When I jacked into that corpo's
thing that makes up
biome.
all the entire food. So it's like
know,
fake, but they'll morph
neurovirus.
it into it. And the
need
next
to see
one is
Vic,
called
let him
Soul
tell me what's got my
Psalm
head
or something
reeling
like
and my
that,
stomach
where
churning.
they can mimic it to look like real food, but it's not. But everybody eats kibble and psalm, I believe. I think that's what it's called. They eat those two things. Fresh food is only for the elite.
I mean, this is a very, very iconic image of the future, right?
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's really part of our collective experience, I think, because it's so close. You know,
So close, yes.
It kind of builds upon what we already have, but then takes it to the extreme.
Like being back in America when I was back there for this last month, like I realized how much everybody was eating on the go when I was there. Like, you know, like they were like, oh, just stop and get something to eat from this place, or just stop and do something like that.
Yeah.
Rarely do we ever sit down, make meals, and eat them together anymore. And so it's just a thing of the past because we're always on the move. Like we're
Yeah.
always
find
like,
me? How'd you
to
even
be
know my
honest, like I
name?
think Europe's getting like that too.
Could even call me a collector. Later,
And so you need to meet Jackie downstairs.
Okay, let's get it, Jackie. Where are you?
Yeah, you can just go straight. Oh no, go back. Ooh,
Oh.
Drugs. Drugs.
Do I go down?
Yeah, you can go down. So this is the mega building that everybody's jam-packed into and stuff like that as well.
Yeah. Oh my God, so many characters. I'm really impressed. It's like I can talk to a lot of them, right?
Some of them you can talk to, but it's kind of like this is also an image, not an image, kind of like a,
What is this?
oh, you don't have to do that. He wants you to kind of like practice fighting.
Ah, damn.
You wanted to.
I It's interesting. It's just like so much to discover, you know?
That's a thing about open world gaming as well too. Like nowadays with open world gaming, they put so much into it that you can just get distracted and just do whatever you want to do.
I'm definitely distracted. If I wouldn't have you, I would be like probably still stuck at the picking up my hairstyle part.
Go to the and then you.
I'm so not smooth with my controllers. Sorry, chat room, don't judge me.
It's okay. This is a judgment-free zone.
The internet. What do I do?
Why is it not coming up? Let me see.
Draw weapon.
Oh, don't draw a weapon.
Oh.
Titan's not being ready to fight. You should be able to go to entrance when you go up to the thing. Yeah. Put your reticle on it. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And I guess we also will read about the corporation soon. But I also want to get to the point of tell you about the climate change and stuff like that as well too.
So much commercials everywhere.
It's like it's everywhere that you are, like everywhere that you are.
And it's like right before the world is literally, it's falling apart, but there's still commercial breaks.
One crazy thing about the game was, this came up in the anime, is that, this came up in the game, when people die, the backlog of people dying is so much that there's a wait list to pick up their bodies.
Whoa.
So like, they was like, can you think like the wait list is like 2 weeks. So you have to sit there with a dead body because it's just so, like, it's so much. It's so much of it has happened, yeah. Kibble is 70% of synth food.
And it almost became slang for shit. Wow, that's interesting.
Scoop is the second one, yes. It's a single-cell organism protein. Fritz is saving me. Thank you, Fritz.
Oh, it's so detailed.
And like acid rain and stuff like that has destroyed the crops. So that also gave a thing to like it being gone away too. There's another area called Pacifica, and in this one, there's a game called the Voodoo Boys. Haiti has gone underwater because water has risen so much, so it displaced all the Haitians into America. And so like all of them...
And it's really Haiti.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And look at the fashion on the streets.
Loves it. Oh, hey. And is this also a game you can play with other players, or it's always...
No, this is just single player, no. This game would be too much to play with other people.
That would be a lot, yeah, I can imagine. It's just like all these characters, you know, you get the feeling you can really talk to them.
The density in this game is something that's kind of unmatched, and when I say density, not one block looks the same.
Look at the shiny...
What?
No, the water reflection.
That's the ray tracing, yeah. Everything has a light source to bounce off of.
What's it called, you said?
Ray tracing. It's like a mechanic in like the game design. Like each individual thing has like a light source that it can bounce off of.
I think I'm going the wrong direction.
You just explored.
Okay, let's go to the right direction.
So yeah, follow that one.
This side. Okay, sorry guys, I'm not so smooth, I'm just going for it.
Go to the left and talk to Jackie.
Jackie, where are you at?
He's just sitting up there eating.
Woman of the hour.
Where are you? There you are.
Long enough?
Sorry.
Up an appetite, just waiting. Sit down, let me finish
Somebody's
this.
a cyberpunk nerd.
Then we can drop in on
Yeah?
No, I really became like, when I played the game the first time, I was like, wow, this is really rich, but the lore and stuff like that came afterwards. I was watching YouTube videos and everything trying to understand the world and stuff like that.
You mentioned something about a surprise yesterday. Am I remembering right, or just had a brain fart?
The hairstyle is really something, huh?
You usually forget shit. But it just so happens, I think I might have bagged
because you got
sweet-ass J.O.B.
kind of messed up when you did that job.
Go on.
I got messed up?
Yeah, a little bit. So you're gonna have to go to a Ripper doctor.
Just that he's fronted
It's
by
gonna
a
hack my shit.
Hack my shit? No. Ripper doctors, they put influence into you. They do hack your shit sometimes as well.
But they can also upgrade you.
Yeah, they'll give you the mantis sign.
I want the mantis arms.
You have to wait so long to get those. I'm sorry.
They meant to come out
Or you have to get a lot
Your
of
cool
money.
level has to be like really high.
You have to be like 3,000 cool.
And your street level has to be like really high to
Does
get
our
it.
cyberpunk nerd have mantis arms? Do you have mantis arms?
Most likely, yeah.
All right. Let's hear what old Dex has
I
to
told you I
say.
got the string thing where I
Set it
just
up.
cut people's heads off and just.
Dixie's a real deal
How
when it
many
comes
hours
to
do you have to put in to get
That was
those?
some loud.
Don't get me
that was
wrong.
some
I don't got nothing against the Padre or
some-
Wakako, but
It took me some time to get it.
No, really.
What and so
Always the
also I
same
guess I should
story.
explain to you
You land
what
on
we're
fresh
participating
turf,
now is the
local
main
fixture
story.
waves his dick
But there are
around,
so
but
many
he's
side
smiling.
stories happening in the
You'll be up to
world.
your neck
You
in
can literally
gigs and
spend
eddies.
years on this game.
There's a
Still,
side story where
all you
there's
are
a
is
vending
another
machine
name in
that's
their little
sentient,
black book.
and the vending machine is aware of
Fat
itself.
Spice or whatever.
Amazing.
And like you come back to the vending machine, it's like, how are you today?
Sure.
It's like, I'm fine. He's like,
crack
you look so
jokes over
beautiful, you know,
drinks,
like, but I'm just so
in the
lonely
end-
here all the time.
Oh
And the vending machine starts to talk to you, and you just keep coming back.
How many writers do you think
Gracias.
are on?
Lots.
I mean, it's crazy, though.
Because they have to manage the main
to my guy
storyline, but
yesterday
they
that
also have to
smoked over
manage
the
like the
desk.
side
And it has to make
runs.
sense, and it has to all connect together.
Some of
Much
them were like
appreciated.
the dude who was in the beginning. I told you his wife was cheating on him. It was like a noir storyline where I had to tell his wife and stuff like that
Top-notch work,
to
Miguel
find out
did.
she was cheating on him.
Rides like it
But she wasn't
looks.
cheating on him. She was
Factory
just getting cyber modifications.
We'll see about that.
Because who she was
we rolling
wasn't
or
who
what?
she was when she met him. She
Okay.
lied about who she was and everything. So she did her body up and everything, and didn't want her husband to find out.
Let's feel this fact.
And he thought she was cheating.
She thought he was cheating, but she was just getting cybermized to keep up with herself. It's like a lot of stuff. Oh, we about to introduce you to driving.
I don't do that in real life. Let's see how I do that in the digital life.
So you can switch your camera to
Oh,
get
God.
out.
But you got
Press the
easy
left
on the
button
gas,
right
eh?
here, so you can see your car. You can press.
I was supposed to stop by Vic's anyhow.
Look at
got
you.
a
You
date.
got it. Do not hit the cops.
Where am I going?
She's so sweet. Really gets me, you know.
The Mantis blades. Everybody really
How do
loves
I
it. You're about to crash.
how do I brake? Ah!
Kill somebody. Wait. So back up. Yeah.
Sorry. I don't have a license.
You gotta turn.
Oh, I'm making pictures.
So you gotta turn around.
Where?
It's behind you. So back up. Reverse.
How do I reverse?
That button right here is reverse.
Okay.
You can hear the programmers laughing. Wait, stop. Stop. This is the same space. Wait, stop turning the radio.
Wait, let's reverse. Let's make some pictures. Okay, there we go.
So yeah, go.
Sorry.
You got it. You got it.
I don't know if we'll get there in one piece, but we'll get there somehow. How do I brake? How do I brake? Like
You
this.
break reverse, so back up. It was literally down the street. Y'all could have walked. Wait, stop.
Oh, am I too far already?
Yeah, so remember your map's up there, so back up.
Jesus Christ.
Somebody. Wait, the police are after you now. Stop.
How do I get? Oh fuck.
Let's hurry up and get to the mission. The police are coming.
Now the grand question is, should I get my driver's license? Yes or no?
Oh shit.
Why? Because I drove over the people.
You hit somebody.
They killed me.
Yes. Wait, saw people
Drunk
laughing.
driving has consequences.
Okay, wait. I do also remember that we played. This is like the really true first-person shooter you played, and driver you played.
Thank you, Kenneth.
First stop. Ripper Duck.
Okay, so we're going to the Ripper Dock. So like,
Just for the chat, my only experience is Mario Kart. Yeah.
so you always remember this is going forward,
Yeah.
this is braking,
Yeah.
and stuff like that as well too. But I guess since I'm so used to it, I'm used to controlling the camera while I drive as well. So it's kind of like the dexterity of looking and driving at the same time while you're doing it. And you get some fire cars later on, like some really, really nice looking cars. Like I got like a Lamborghini type one where the doors come up.
Nice.
And then I got a motorcycle that looks like from the famous anime, Akira. which is also Cyberpunk derivative.
That was
as well,
very
too.
close. You know, we are in America. We really are in America.
We really are in America.
Walking 5 minutes and taking the car.
We get in the car and let's go. I actually did that when I was back at home. We're like, hey, it's down the street. I'm like, I want to drive.
That's so funny. These cultural things we snap back into, right?
So you see, like, this is kind of like, you know, like the raunchy, well, every part of town is kind of raunchy to me, but there's a crime scene over there.
Yeah.
And then they can reconstruct the crime scene through BDs. BDs are brain dances where you can re-see everything.
Brain dances?
Yeah, brain dances where you can re-see everything that's
Cool
happened.
name.
Mm-hmm. And then you can get like illegal BDs where they show you stuff that's like black market. And then like BDs where you can just like have sex with people and stuff like them in there.
Very Black Mirror vibes.
I'll sit tight over here.
Okay, this
Me
is
and
from
Misty got a little
2020,
catching
so
up to
it's
do.
very new. But were people really waiting for this game? Yeah, because they announced it for a long time, or because the board game is so popular. And,
So
I
that-
mean, just the storyline already offers.
I don't even gotta
so
read some
much.
of this stuff. So that also gets into the conversation of like the dark side of development of this game as well too, because this game is what I tell people, the like quintessential understanding of like video gaming going to a very, very capitalistic overproduction phase. It was to the point where when this game got delayed, the developers were getting death threats for the delaying of the game.
Jesus Christ.
And then like there was crunch culture and stuff like that that was allegedly called out at there as well too.
Crunch culture in the sense that they would put people
They were
in.
working like probably, they claimed that they were working over like 80 hours a week on these as well too.
Jesus.
And then so also this whole thing of like investors in the game and stuff like that, and wanting them to come out with like not only on the generation of systems that can handle it, but previous ones that couldn't, because it was like a money grab as well too.
Yeah.
All these things, even somebody took them, there was a class action lawsuit against CD Projekt Red too about the game as well too. Because
So interesting, because it's like exactly what the game is critiquing, kind of, right? Like this overconsumption and overproduction, and then it's so interesting how that reflects in the actual making of the thing.
like there was so much that people wanted out of the game and so many promises that were made and stuff. And to me, the game
But just from
fulfilled
like
it.
a noob from the game world perspective, does the developer, they come out like, hey, we're gonna bring out this game, they create the expectation, right? It's not like people are waiting for the game and
But the expectations keep getting higher and higher and higher.
then as delays come,
Yeah.
people just go crazy.
Yeah, and then like, you know, like the expectation for a video game to run this hardware on like a system is so high. Like the videos and things still kind of matched up from what it was, but it was just so, and you also have to remember when this game was being developed, COVID happened as well too. So that slowed down the development naturally because like, you know, people have to be safe and things like that as well. I think CD Projekt Red did a good job of like managing like what happened with everybody and stuff like that as well too. But it's this whole thing of like games getting better and better and better and better every year.
More,
And
yeah.
the cost of it is something that we really don't see from the game developers that suffer from it, because those people also didn't have permanent contracts as well. Some of those people didn't have permanent contracts. So they just got them for this game, and then after that, that was it. They had to find jobs somewhere else.
Yeah.
To like the death threats and the safety of them, to like the crunch culture, to like
Yeah.
the managing of expectations of game. Because I think also video gamers have like unrealistic expectations about games that don't really match up with what the reality of it is.
And how long would people be waiting for this game to come out?
They announced this game like I was still in America when they announced this game. Like I think I was still in my graduate program in New York, so that's like 2016.
Okay, so people are like 4 years waiting for
Yeah,
the game
like
to
people were
come out.
waiting years for this
Okay.
game, and like it came out, and
And it was supposed to come out 2018 or what?
yeah, but it came out in 2020, I think in November, and when it came out, it was a shit show. It was crazy.
Because it was buggy. People were waiting for 4.5 years already, so the expectations were off the roof.
People were pissed.
Interesting. But still, I assume it's a highly successful game.
It's made a turnaround. It made a complete turnaround from what it was. I mean, I was still playing it during the buggy phase because I had a PlayStation 5. Shout out to my PlayStation 5. Yeah, no. I had a PlayStation.
Shouting out for your sake, because I have no idea what the difference is. But shout out PlayStation 5.
Shout out to PlayStation 5. Shout out to the home team. No, like literally, I ain't have no problems. But that's the thing about it. It's like it was able to run on that next gen hardware. But these very, very capitalistic. Like we want to get the most money out of us, and nobody could get a PlayStation 5 because the production lines had slowed
So
down.
it was like forcing to run on older generations to be able to sell the game, but then people would buy the game and then they wouldn't actually work
My
on
PlayStation 4 turned into a heater when I put this in my thing.
Yeah.
Like-
I mean, I can imagine it's really impressive. I mean, we're on 1%, you said? It's crazy.
Like, I think I've
And I
made
can
it-
imagine you go into these like office towers and things are fancy and stuff. You can go into all kinds of, yeah.
Like if you would have started off in the corporate world, it's very, very like aggressive design, straightforward.
Clean. Yeah.
Like,
Interesting.
they live in this world that is just like unattainable to us. Like it's just.
Okay,
like-
I'm really like the street scum. Like, right? Right? We're like in this, like, this is where all the crime is happening and it's dirty, and this is where corporate is kind of just like pushing down on.
It was announced 9 years ago. Thank you.
9 years ago.
Yep.
Why would they make such an announcement though?
But that's the way the AAA games, and when I say AAA, that's like big budget games are.
Or is it part of the financing also?
I mean, it's like we announced this game, and when they announced this game, it was literally just a video. It was no gameplay footage or anything. Like, that's how it typically goes. But people were like, oh, Cyberpunk, I know this, da-da-da. Some people knew it, some people didn't. But we were like, what is this game? And then the hype started to build up more. Like, we were just talking about the programmer. We've never seen a gaming campaign so aggressive. It was an entire...
You said on buses.
It was a bus in London. There was a Cyberpunk bus in London.
I created an imaginative gamer cave around me. I've never heard of this.
Like my friend who is in politics, who has never played a game in his life, knew what happened with Cyberpunk. He's like, "Wow, Rico!" Like, because it was such a, like the expectations had fallen so flat with some people. I mean, but you know,
And do you
like
think from the developer side, was it a miscalculation to bring it out, or they just didn't imagine it would be so hyped up?
it's allegations behind it, because some people, like the reviewers, alleged that they got copies of the PC version that was much more stable. They weren't allowed to. They alleged that they weren't allowed to get copies of the consoles.
All the game juice. All the game tea.
All the game tea.
8 years later.
All the game tea, yeah. Like some of them were like, you know, like we weren't allowed to get review copies of the current generation, because if we were going to be able to flag it and tell people about it. But then some of them were saying like we only got like the PC version, which was somewhat stable. And so different reviewers and different people were saying like different things, and it was like, how did this happen? Like, how did y'all sell us? Because people then got mad at the reviewers. They're like, why would you not tell us this? And the reviewers was like, well, we didn't get the copy that was like the broken one. So it's like a large allegation from different parties. Like things, so we don't get sued.
But they managed to flip it around, I guess.
I think they managed to flip it around. To me, it was always a solid game. It just needed a lot of work done.
It wasn't canceled. Millions of people play this game, and it just stayed.
There were Cyberpunk memes, literally like memes of like, like a
You know, I'm sure that after this episode, I'm gonna start seeing things. You know, once you know about it, it starts appearing. I'm like, this is what that means.
T-pose. Like there's the thing where the characters just stop like this in the middle of the game.
That's the thing.
Yeah, so I would do this at work and just like stop.
Okay.
And sneakers. They had Keanu Reeves, so Keanu Reeves brought a lot of money into it too.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, Keanu Reeves, hey.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm not like
Where's
that.
Keanu?
You meet him later.
When can I meet Keanu?
You meet him later in the game. And this is a Ripper Doctor. He's the one who installs the stuff inside of it.
What do I owe the pleasure today?
Last gig, had to jack into a client's neuro socket. Think I
See how
might
he's
have gotten
fixing his own?
spiked.
Experiencing migraines, nausea, hypersensitivity to bright lights?
Whole kit and caboodle.
All right, kid. We'll sort you out in a flash. Besides that, how are things?
Need some new kit, but tools, not toys, Vic. Time I bumped up my sights and got a grip.
So your
Really?
street cred
Now,
allows you more access to cyberware, and your street
shit's
cred is
getting
given
real.
by doing like
Got a
side
job from
missions
Dexter
and just getting your name
Shawn in the
known as well
major
too.
leagues. Need tech that can
And
perform.
like I said, when you get your street cred, you can get the
Dexter
mantis arms.
Deshawn?
That's what we want.
That is something. Let me guess.
It took me months to
Hasn't
get
paid
those
you yet.
arms.
Not today.
Quick grind,
not
Vic.
today,
I'll bring you the
Sam.
ends later with
Not today.
interest. You know I will.
It's very
Last
impressive.
time. Yeah.
And we gotta talk to him.
And how do you feel like the book?
Chair,
Is it kind
please.
of your
Sit
classic
down,
book and
relax.
film relationship? Could I compare it? Because, for example, you said a lot of things you didn't understand until you read the manual or the book.
I think the lore itself is translated very well in this game, to the point where you don't even know you're interacting with
Hiroshi
lore of the
Optics.
game.
Best I've
You have to
got,
go look
and
it
should
up.
be about right
Like-
under the
But eventually you would
circumstances.
know, even if you don't look it up, or
Yeah,
you kind of
because
build
like
up-
Alt is Johnny
Jack,
Silverhand's girl thing, fling or whatever it is too.
I don't know who any of these people are.
Alt.
Is that alt?
You
No,
peruse
no.
and choose while I scan.
Alt, you'll
See
meet her
what's
later
going
in the
on
game.
outside.
Alt develops this program called Soul Killer, where you can transmute your consciousness into this digital aspect.
Sick.
And so Alt gets kidnapped by Arasaka, and Arasaka takes her away because Alt, like, they're like, you need to make this program.
Arasaka is the super corporate.
Yeah, but it also be noted that this game has like very, very.
Was there any feedback on that? Like that the super corporation is like Asian and then.
I was just about to say
I
that.
mean, I can also the way they were portrayed. I was like,
Anti,
I don't
kind
know.
of like,
This is
it
kind
was
of
very.
anti-Asian vibes, no?
That's literally the exact words you were about to pull out
Yeah.
of my mouth, because we had to bring it up in our course that we was teaching up too.
Yeah.
And there's this very, very much like overarching theme of like outsiders, communism, very, very Asian-centric cultures taking over
Yeah.
and stuff like that, which kind of like harkens back to like America's calling out of like China
Cold
and like
War things.
yeah, things like that as well too. So that is a thing that comes
The
up in this game.
hyper stereotypes types, right?
There's people have called this game to flack about that as well. Like the animals in the animals is a gang in the role-playing game, and they're made up of minorities. And so people were like, that's kind of like racial, that you're like making the minority gang animals or whatever it is as well too, where they're just like these very pumped up steroid type of people as well. But Mike Pondsmith was like, you don't get to tell me what to do with like racial like what I perceive this world to be and stuff like that as well. And it gets into questions of like stereotyping and things like that from
But
like
were the people that were critiquing that coming from a kind of animal rights point of view, or
they were coming from like a very, very like
or
racial
how can you call minorities? How can you compare them to animals?
Yeah,
but I guess that's that is the cynicism behind it, right?
Yeah, like in this game, the animals are multiracial, so they're like lots of people who make up the animals, but they're just these very hyped up, very steroided up, pumped up people that you like run into. But I believe in the role-playing game, they're more like minorities and stuff like that as well too.
But in the terms of the kind of like the Asian overlords, corporate overlords, there's been a lot of backlash on that.
Yeah, people have called out the anti-Asian sentiments of the role-playing game and the game itself, the source material as well too, because there was like a whole thing where it was like, the Arasaka is from Japan, so it's like this Japanese type of like imperialism that like is in the game, where they're just constantly taking over. Arasaka was kicked out of Night City, but they came back after they nuked it in with Johnny Silverhand. But all the corporations are just evil, all of them.
It's not only Asian corporations.
No, yeah.
Okay,
So Militech
no, it's just
is.
because I heard this Arasaka name coming by, and
Arasaka
I
is
saw
one,
this.
but there's like Militech, and then there's like another one.
Okay, there are
yeah.
multiple ones. I just thought it was this one evil corporation,
But
and
in this
they were.
game, Arasaka is the evil corporation that you fight against. Which
In this game, you mean in this life cycle?
In this game particularly,
path.
you deal with Arasaka. And this
Because in other life paths, you'll deal with other.
No, you'll still deal with Arasaka
Okay.
in this one, because this game is built around that central narrative. And what we're just doing now is putting you some eyeballs in.
This is so exciting. I mean, I can only imagine.
Spoiling the game for everybody.
I mean, when you're really.
Well, I don't know what to tell y'all. Y'all's been out like 9. It's been out like.
But it's really interesting. So once you're really far in the game, you'll just have like mantis arm and crazy like supersonic eyes that flash through everything. You can make people explode people with your
Yeah,
thoughts.
like I burn people up with my cyber mods.
And then if we go back to the beginning, right, where you said to me like it's one thing to kind of just save your own.
Mm-hmm.
What are these missions you were talking about? I was just so in the beginning. I'm still overwhelmed, by the way. But now, kind of circling back to these life missions that you said, like I would
Mark
advise
one,
you to
like I
attach
said,
yourself to a life
decent
mission,
enough
which
scanner.
also comes back to
Displays
this
data on your cornea.
to the
Cherry
core
on the top's a
principles
built-in
of
external.
What were you saying? What kind of life missions are we talking about?
Like, so, I mean, in this game, there's this whole idea where we read from the thing of living on the edge.
Exactly.
So, like, this whole thing of playing it safe doesn't get you far in life in Night City. If you play it safe, you die.
Yeah.
And he'll ask you a question, Dexter
No
Sean,
place
like,
for weak people.
yeah, no place for weak people,
No.
like, pretty much Berlin. Berlin.
Bring back the techno.
Layman's terms.
Berlin.
And
And there's this whole thing of like you have to live on the edge, you have to always push the limit, you don't settle for less, you have to have a purpose.
So the purpose, I guess that's what I'm aiming for. What kind of purpose?
So the
Talks to
purpose in this
Kuroshi
game
Tech,
is to
too.
really go against corporate initiatives
Yeah.
in this game. Johnny Silverhand is this rocker
Carve
rebel, and there's this whole thing in the
Excellent.
board
Let's
game
do
about
this.
rockers and being like a rocker in
Johnny's Keanu Reeves.
yeah,
Yeah.
and being
Major League
anti-establishment
Army.
and stuff like that as well.
Right
It comes from like the late 80s.
So let's say I want to be the best at my cyberpunk self. I have mantis arms, I have the eyes, I can blow people
Just
up
like
with my
Shades.
thoughts.
Nice.
My biggest
Now,
accomplishment
a bit of
would be to
anesthetic
bring
and
down these
I can start
corporations,
cutting.
right?
Yeah, because you always, in this world,
anything?
you want to go out fast, but you want to have a name left
Play by
after you go
play,
out.
though.
So you want to burn
Really,
out
Doc?
fast, but you always want to
you
leave
sound
something
like a
behind.
dentist.
Yeah.
I
Always
wanted to
going
burn
home.
out slow and be safe.
Yeah. That
Don't
doesn't
be
work.
mean now.
You'll die and no one will know about you, and you won't have cool shoes.
No,
Yeah.
no,
And what did you do with your mantis arms?
Nothing.
Lights out for a
Nothing.
minute, all right?
nothing. I was like, I want to play it safe. Shit.
You have mantis arms, Rico. Why would you have
And I was
mantis
like,
arms?
nope, don't do that. I was like, oh, police, pull over. I was like,
Slice them. Police doesn't have mantis arms.
some of the police actually have mantis arms.
Yes, of course they do, motherfuckers.
Let's test this. See the magic in action.
Oh yeah, not
Making
playing
you
it
in.
safe. Yeah, Doom Eternal style. You never seen
You
Doom.
might
Doom is
feel a
like,
little
ooh, Doom is
discomfort
like
at
really
first.
hardcore.
Blurred
It's like
vision,
death, deep
low
metal.
contrast, glitches.
And this is more like the clubby Berghain techno vibe. I
Pretty
liked
much.
the music before, but the music didn't come back anymore. Is it that just when
The
you're
music
going
comes
to
in and
battle
out,
mode?
yeah. But
how's
the
it
music
look?
is top notch
Feel
on
all
this
right to
game. I
you?
will say that. Like
Nice.
I played a lot of games with good music, but this music
This
is
is
like
fantastic. Vic.
Nice. Is it mostly
Oh,
techno?
beautiful.
mostly techno, but they got a little R&B in there as well too.
Nice.
Spanish music.
Time for the
They
scanner.
also have
I love Spanish music.
because it's like it was like Spanish rap, and then
Are
it
we
was
talking
like
like Bad Bunny or flamenco?
no, it was definitely on Bad. No, it may be Bad Bunny. It may be Bad Bunny. It may be Bad Bunny.
Spanish music.
Because I was just like, what is this? And it was like Spanish rap, but it was like also like another one. It was like reggaeton or something. It may have been like reggaeton. And it was like another genre that I couldn't put my hand on.
I'm getting, it's like Pimp My Car, cyberpunk mode. This is cool. I'm really impressed. I've never heard about this.
Take you a
It's
few seconds to
huge.
adjust.
Yeah, no, Cyberpunk is.
First time's
And they
really
announced the
the charm,
DLC as
with
well too,
anything, really.
which is
Scanner should eventually
who's
sync
about
with your
to-
thought
What does that mean?
processes.
downloadable content.
Downloadable content. We've covered that before.
They announced the DLC that's coming out.
also
I think
checked
later
the
this,
NCPD
next year it's
file
coming
search.
out. But
Run
it's
into
the only
any ne'er-do-wells.
DLC for the
You know exactly what they
game.
ne'er did.
Oh, we can skip ahead too. Oh, they just teach you because you can scan
It
people and
oughta
see
work
their
like
names
a
and stuff
charm.
like that. And if the
Now
police
draw
want them
your
or something
weapon.
like that too.
You should see your ammo count in a brand
And you
new
brought the
sight.
book because you wanted to read some stuff out of it,
I'm
right?
gonna read one more thing out of it as well too, because we need to tell you about the corporate wars, and then we need to tell you about the climate fall. Thanks, Vic.
Shit,
we
Victor,
can do that
not
right now.
bad. I don't know what to say.
Say you'll take this
Think
and
Elon
remember
Musk
the
plays this
dosage.
game?
2 whiffs now, and another 2 in an hour.
I think Elon Musk wants this game to be. I think Elon Musk wants this to be our reality.
The best, Vic. I owe you.
Definitely working hard for it.
Doesn't he own Twitter
Go
now?
on,
Yes.
kid. Show 'em what
So
you
what
got.
happens after that? Does he like
And once you hit the big
come
league,
through our screens and like sees us?
came from.
I don't know.
We'll walk outside and then I'll read to you about
Chocolate looks a little out of whack.
the climate degradation.
Okay, we're going into a cleaner. Oh no, it's just lights.
Just like
See what flashy lights don't do. Hey,
Yo,
Jackie.
listen up.
Jackie.
Talk to Dex
I
while
won't give
were
you
in
the
with the
spoiler
doc.
about what happens to Jackie.
He's waiting in his ride for you.
I'm sure our
Ain't but a
viewers
hop
will
to where he's
appreciate
parked.
that.
Get
Next
death
to
threats
Gramsci
about that. Not
Burgers.
me.
Yeah.
Not me.
Do my best.
See how these developers, how people go really wild. I mean, 8 years is a long time. It doesn't justify giving
Child.
people death threats
You know,
for playing for a game.
Listen, I've got this delicate matter. That's why I called you. The number of cyber psycho attacks in the city is on the
and people will
rise.
call you
Now,
about
that's
different
probably
things
not
as
news
well
to you,
too.
But this issue matters to me for a few reasons.
So besides like there was a lot of like backlash in terms of like the development side of things, right? And then the backlash on this kind of maybe racial stereotyping or these minorities. I find that really interesting how the minorities are like.
I'll give you a call.
Is this Michael is his name, right?
Mike Pondsmith.
Mike.
Yeah.
Is Mike, is he kind of the public face of the game? let's
He's
say?
the public face of the game. There were lots of other people who were in the development in terms of the board game, editors, from script writers and stuff like that as well too, to like people who just brought up like the mechanics of like board games and stuff. But Mike Pondsmith is like the poster person for the entire game.
So press conferences, interviews, he's kind of the guy to...
The dude who had CD Projekt Red, I forget what his name is.
Dexter.
A pleasure.
This is another
Dexter
big fixer.
Deshawn in the flesh. Ample indeed.
Let's roll.
Lero.
Mind if I ask you something right off the bangle?
Right off the bangle.
Would you rather live in peace as Miss Nobody, die ripe, old, and smelling slightly of urine, or go down for all times in a blaze of glory, smelling near like posies, without seeing your 30th?
Which one?
This some sort of test? The first one. I mean, I grew up in the streets. I don't have a
It's
much
first place
of
or no place, Dex. Cost isn't a
I
factor.
don't think I'm in a position of like really
Classic.
reflecting on it here. And the urine smells.
I like
is
to say
kind
I
of
grew up in the
off-putting.
streets. Fuck all this other stuff. Gang, gang.
Gang,
All
gang.
right, listen close. Scanning a serious job now. Playing gargantuan compared to smashing up a scav home.
Let me hear it. What's the job?
There's this prototype tech, a biochip to be precise. Job's to grab it. Simple.
And what is like? Okay, I get the like the purpose of bringing down the
Guessing it
corporations,
belongs
but
to
is
a
there
corp?
like the thing I'm going towards?
Arasaka.
Yeah, because in this
Surely
game,
that's no problem.
the main storyline has to deal with Johnny Silverhand, who is supposed to be dead
Yeah.
in this timeline.
It's the guy in the freezer.
Oh no, that's
in the
another
fridge.
dude.
Okay.
Johnny Silverhand blew up
Corpse
Arasaka
don't
a
deserve
long time
special
ago
treatment.
in 2020, I
Shit.
think,
You ain't
which
playing around.
destroyed almost all of the city,
Got
and
a
they
feeling
rebuilt
this
it
could
up
be
to
a start
back to
of a beautiful
27/7 today.
friendship built on heaps of it.
Johnny Silverhand, you
You work
become
this
acquainted
out.
with him,
Got a
and
plan?
then he and you
things.
have to get
First,
together
a
to
conundrum with the
basically
Maelstrom boys.
get back at
Needs active
Arasaka.
resolve
Yeah.
with that.
Because they developed some tech
Second, the
the
Simple.
Alt, his girlfriend,
Client
had
who brought us
made,
the job's anxious.
and it's
She wants to parlay
going
with
to
one of the
kill
team.
you, kinda. It's slowly killing you. So you have to stop it by taking down Arasaka.
Okay.
What's the issue needs resolving with Maelstrom? Got a
5G,
beef?
but then cyberpunk.
Fuck, John.
5G. Not the 5G. Not the 5G.
Are there conspiracy
Got a classic
theories
tale
in here?
No, there are people that.
Jumped a military
So
convoy.
you'll meet people
Got
who will
away
tell
with
you
the
about
kid.
like the past. They're
Corp
like, oh,
don't
you know, like
even
Johnny
know
Silverhand, da da da
Maelstroms
da. They
involved.
said he did da 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 da, and this and
Now
that.
see,
And you actually
Convoy was
do
carrying the
flashbacks
flathead,
and go back to the
little
past and
combat
play it
bot,
as well
a
too.
prototype.
Okay.
And I need me
And
that bit
what
of
Dexter is
high-grade
asking us to
logistics.
do is steal a prototype of a weapon for a
If we
bigger
don't get
job.
that bot,
Okay.
we don't get no soccer chip.
But we
And
might.
sure
What
as hell
time
don't
is
get
it?
no
How
happily ever
much time
after.
is it?
Soccer
But
chip.
don't get excited. It's a single-use toy.
We're stealing
Now,
from
I
a
flat out
corporation.
purchased the damn thing from Maelstrom. Problem is, I
And
did
that's a
so from a
Maelstrom
gent
person.
went by the name of Brick. I say when, because Brick was the leader. 3 days after we'd sealed our deal, his friend and gangmate, one Simon Randall,
See how they
a.k.a.
have no
Royce,
eyes?
plain dropped his ass.
They have no eyes.
Royce is in charge now, and I got no way of
And
knowing
Maelstrom
if he
doesn't look
aims to
like
honor
that
his
in the
predecessor's
RPG
word.
game. They look totally different.
To add to
Can I
this
see?
shitstorm, one merited the style of military.
The artwork is really,
RPG.
really nice.
I'm so curious how this reflects on a board game. How does that work? It's so complicated. Is it just like little things?
So when you get the sheets and stuff like that out, you'll have the stats that you make your character with and stuff like that.
I always see this in series, you know, like in Stranger Things. They have this magic dungeon, but I never understand how it actually works. But I
You
know
have a
it, I
dice
know
that
it
you
as a...
roll. You have attributes that you give your
And people
character.
really go in it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Role-playing games, interesting.
I had a friend in New York where literally it would be Friday night, like, hey, we going out? Like, nope, D&D night. So it's like, okay.
Dungeons and Dragons. Here,
Woman's named
roll
Evelyn Parker.
roll your
That
dice,
never
and
wasn't
that
easy.
will decide
Put
your
the word out, I
ethnic
was looking for any kind
origins.
of intel.
Crazy.
Right, and?
And this goes back to game
Some
theory and
brothers
like
from
all these other
Pacifica
things
got
too. Of
Very
like,
specific,
Told me to
African,
stop
either
looking.
Bantu,
In the
Fante,
Congo.
Congo, Ashanti, Zulu, or Swahili.
he did research.
Our little client insisted on
Like,
meeting
okay.
someone with skin in the game. You know, who'll be there for it all.
Interesting.
The artwork is so good too.
Yours
The
truly
artwork
will
on
be
the-
remote.
it's cards.
T-Bug ain't no people person, and Jacky's only good at some things. I know you know what I mean. Pretty much leaves you.
I like how you just smoking in this car and then
I
add.
think I got
Fascinating.
everything. Time I got to work.
Well, that's just music to my ears.
And did you see
I'll set up
any
the meet with Miss Parker at
any
Lizzie's bar.
feedback
Flathead,
on
though,
or
it's gonna be
backlash
all
of
you.
people that were really fan of the board game? Did they like the video game? Because you
Some-
have this like in films and books, right? Like the film is not as good as the book, but in a video game, the cool thing is you can literally stretch out the whole world over
I guess
hundreds
because
of hours.
this, I would never even know if somebody who played the RPG did kind of like have backlash against it. Because I guess like this is such a
White
different
light
beast
or
opposed to the
blaze of
game,
glory.
where the game is like you bring your imagination and your storyline to it, where this is like a preset one
I guess,
for you as well
okay.
too.
So interesting. This is from '89, yeah.
Street cred. So you got some street cred.
Nice. That is always practical.
Street cred. In this game, people call you a lot too. It kind of gets
Jackster, talk
annoying,
to
but
Dex.
okay.
We are in the future. What happened to texting future?
People do text you.
Claim to want to check out Coco.
I stopped checking my
Feels more
text
like
messages
he
in the
tangled
day.
us up with Maelstrom and Militech.
That is dead.
There's this
Parts is parts. Dead
combat
guys
bot
is
military
parts.
prototype. Maelstrom clept it. Then Dex paid to take it off their hands
And they're just going
before
over
the
the
game goons
thing
had to
again
switch up the
to
management.
what we got to do.
Right, heard about that. Royce versus Frank. Hostile
And still recall.
Well, it sums it up.
So the flow
Dex
is kind
wants
of
us
you can
talking to
explore,
Royce.
but you kind of go
Gave
from
the
mission
deeds
to
of some
mission.
Militech agent
Open
too,
world
but
game, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
Because
how
if
much
you
help
remember,
she
like
stands.
Alba's Wildlife Adventure, remember how Dayu was telling us like open world games are really inaccessible to like a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Then there's the other thing. Gotta make the client get the job on the kid.
Yeah, it's a lot because nowadays with open world games, and this also goes into the conversation of the dark side of development. It's like they always
Parker
have to
wants to
push
meet
the
someone on the
envelope
crew.
even
Dex
more,
gave me
more
the
stuff, more things to do, more content to see, and it's just like a lot to digest sometimes.
To keep people forever inside.
That's the club Lizzie's. Lizzie's is a game that
I say we knock on Maelstrom's door
they
first.
have these origins of like
Hound,
sex workers, but they used to protect them on the streets and stuff like that. And then they became an all femme gang that like runs this club and also protects people.
Kind of looks like Miami / Tokyo. I don't know.
Oh shit! Go. It's supposed to be between San Francisco and LA.
Oh yeah, it's California, right?
So those imported palm trees and
Yeah.
all that other stuff. So we have to steal this robot for them so we can either choose to call the Militech agent up, which is the corporal person, or go straight to Jackie and do the job. What you want to do?
I want to do the corporal person. We haven't interacted with any corporates.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a good thing, and then I can read some stuff to you. Let's go. Her name is. Where's she at? You have to call Militech agent. It should be whatever Strauss. Here she is.
Stout here. Start by telling me how you got this number.
No more than your number. Heard you misplaced a convoy.
You shut him up. Spill what you know. Don't make me wait.
Not on the horn. Let's meet, cut a deal.
A deal. Fine. First exit off Skyline, driving towards the NID. Storm channel under the overpass. Meet you there.
And you see that blue thing that just popped up? That's when crimes are happening. So the police are stretched so thin, so you can help them with like stopping crimes.
And why would I want to do that?
You get money. You're like,
No,
wow.
yeah, I mean, it needs, because I just play for all the teams. I play for my bag, basically, right? That's my, like, you can hire me, like, corporations can hire me. I'm with the thugs, I'm with the police, whatever.
you're with yourself, right?
As long as you're paying me, I'll show up for the
Secure
game.
the bag. That's all that matters. The girl said, why would I want to do that?
Loyalty is for losers.
Live on the edge. Girl said, why would I want to do that? Fuck out of here. And so we chose to call the Militech agent up first.
Because the police is kind of owned by the corporations, right?
No, the police, and that's the thing about it, the police are totally separated. Well,
The police are just like a gang in itself.
But the police are just, they can't really even take care of what, the state is so weak in this future that corporations have taken over so much more.
So they don't really have more authority than like a gang leader.
There's some corporate zones that have their own police systems in them that those police can't even touch.
Good old-fashioned bribes as a means of control can go extinct.
And we need to go under the thing to meet this one.
If we're acting of our own volition,
Yeah, we haven't interacted with corporate people
witting
yet.
victims, subliminal manipulation, puppets. Does it really come to this? Night City.
The driving was not that good on this game before too. The people didn't like it that much. And then
Look lively. Meredith Stout. Take it you were the
so
one
she
to
works
call?
for Militech, another giant corporation.
That'd be me.
Hey.
Thought you could blackmail me, bitch? Set conditions?
No.
She didn't call me a bitch when I was a man.
Got any more for me?
Well.
So in corporate life, it's like sharks eating sharks. That's another corporate person.
Shut your trap! That fucking thing ready?
And to get up through the ranks, you have to
Now answer my
basically
questions.
kill one another.
Honestly, forthrightly. Are you here alone?
I love his little bald spot.
It's
such a detail. It's like, okay.
Guardian angels.
Not his bald spot. It's stop.
You don't let me go.
Yeah, driving is better
dogs
with
will
a
have to
mouse.
glue you back
Not his
together.
bald spot.
She's lying.
Try
I didn't
that
even peep
again, and
that.
It's 2 million volts. Got it?
Oh my god, that's funny.
Do a sweep now. Now listen close.
You're never
This
really at
piece
peace
of shit.
anyway, right? In any
Is he your
position.
contact? Is he the one who leaked intel on the
That is
convoy?
a very good observation. Yeah.
Living on the edge, I guess.
That guy?
Even when you're a rich
Never seen him
corporal
before.
person, somebody's always looking to take you down.
More money, more problems.
Listen, I know where the transport is. I can help you. Just want a favor in return.
I told you! I fucking told you! I'm not the mole! Jesus Christ!
Shut him up.
Unhand me now before I...
Her you can let go. Want to hear what she has to say?
I need a bot. Flathead model. Guys who ripped you off have it. Promise me that bot. I'll point the finger.
You have a plan how to deal with them?
Could just take it by force, but they're expecting payment, so I could go that route too.
Fine, the latter. But on one condition. You pay with our money.
So like you said, you're just in it for yourself. You deal with anybody you gotta do to get the problems done.
Nah. Know what, Stout? My offer just
Okay.
came off the table.
Mistake. Big mistake.
I didn't do that last time.
You just took it?
I took the money, but to spoil it a little bit, there's a tracker on the card. So when you pay them with it, they come and break into the place. In my car.
Fuck. That was unnecessary. Now what?
I'm stranded.
Can you get little jetpacks? Can you get little jetpacks and fly off eventually?
No, that's too futuristic. Not yet.
Mantis arms, sure.
No, you're jumping ahead of yourself right there.
Not jetpack.
So let me read.
Let's keep it realistic.
One thing about the, I really want to get to the climate stuff as well too. The corporate stuff, you kind of see that it's a shark eat shark world and things like that as well. But also there was a whole thing of a corporate war that happened in the 2020s, where it was like very, very espionage.
What year are we in?
We're in 2077 on that
Okay,
one.
we're in
But the corporate wars were fought, and then they were like had their own private military groups and stuff like that, things like that. There was a big war in Central America. Johnny Silverhand was in that war as well too. But one thing that I wanted
Johnny
to
Silverhand is like the Che Guevara of cyberpunk.
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
And he's Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves. Yeah. The modern corporations of 2020 are much like corporations of the late 20th century, only much larger and fully autonomous. They are very nearly nations in themselves and with their own laws, cities, and factories and armies. Most corporations in 2020 are multinational, i.e. they have branches and operations all over the world. These branches may be small research facilities or sales offices or large and major manufacturing facilities and security centers. So just getting a point to the cross that they become nations. Like, they're just as powerful as that too. But there's one last thing that I wanted to get to you as well too, to talk about the climate degradation in the world that happens. And this came from like a YouTuber that I had to get it from, because really climate change in this game only comes apart when you actually go to the wastelands and see it, from there not being food, and then the radio broadcast where they talk about acid rains coming, go inside, don't stay outside too long, or the temperature is like over 100 degrees and that's like normal, things like that.
And wastelands is like a whole area of
just like oil
the
filled,
city where you also can do missions, and it's just nasty.
Yeah, it's just nasty and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, and this is where we get into the food makeup as well. In cyberpunk world, lack of regulations in the U.S. and regional result in increasingly changing and unpredictable climates, which made agriculture nearly impossible. In 1998, the Midwest U.S. was little more than a dust bowl with acid rain, droughts, wildfire, and toxic waste that had destroyed orchards in California, Texas, and Florida. In 2020, much of what was the breadbasket of the world is now polluted, now a polluted wasteland. So less food is being produced, and is being produced in new places. Due to rising temperatures, areas which once were too severe and cold for large-scale agriculture now offer farming opportunities. So places like Alaska, they can grow things that, where Alaska now is like cold as hell. You can't grow shit there.
Yeah.
Northern Canada has become the world's most leading supplier in real food, and Alaska is one of the few parts in the U.S. where farming can still occur on the industry level. Most Americans eat manufactured food in 2020. The most common food eating is kibble, and that's what we brought up before. That's dry, grainy nuts laced with vitamins, minerals, and small amounts of actual protein. Kibble makes up 70% of the average American diet. So like, everybody's eating fake stuff in this world because we can't even grow food anymore. Scoop, a vat-grown protein genetically tailored to mimic textures and the taste of various foods, make up 20% of it in the average American diet, So Scoop is a little bit better, but it's like, you know, it's still crap. They don't have gasoline in this future anymore, too. They have chum, which comes from corn as well, because they ran out of gas in crude oil. So it's like not even there anymore. But it's just to get this whole thing, fresh food makes up at least a little as 2% of the average American diet. So only 2% of Americans can even eat like real food anymore. But it's just to get this point across, to understand that like climate has gone in this future that Pondsmith imagined of like cyberpunk and everything. The climate has gone so bad to the point where you can't even like find food anymore. So what happens when you do that? You just start coming up with fake food that everybody eats. And in this game, you can eat food like pizza and stuff like that, and you'll think that you're eating burgers, but you're really eating like shum and kibble. It's not real stuff.
I'm sure a lot of the burgers that are out there are also shum and kibble at this point.
Shum and kibble at this point? Yeah, it probably is. I probably ate some shum and kibble when I was back in America.
Probably.
Yeah, we can. I think we got 4 more minutes left, but you know, press start and we can just run around.
4 more minutes?
Yeah, because I think it's 2 hours and 30 minutes we're into.
Oh yeah. Wow, time flies when you're discovering a new world. No, but really interesting, because it's just based on all that. I guess that's what makes it so fascinating. These clothes. That's what makes like Black Mirror also so fascinating, right? It's these dystopian realities that are so based, you know, these values. Like I love this. We were talking about The Sims. I think that if you build your house too big, the farm will disappear.
Yeah.
You know how you can embed values or rules and create kind of these very subliminal messages. Like the fact that there are no kitchens, for example, in the households is such an interesting reflection of how society develops and how people feed themselves and how health and how you just have to run to keep alive, I guess.
Because I literally had
time to make your, you know.
Yeah, like things like that. If you didn't read the lore, you wouldn't catch it. You wouldn't understand that, like,
you wouldn't even realize it, maybe.
there's some parts in the game where they don't know if something happened in the past because the internet crashed in 2020. So all that information and everything was lost. So they say, I think it happened then, or I think it happened then. So they can't have an exact thing because they don't.
And you only know that if you read the lore.
Yeah, if you read the lore about it, stuff like, and I think.
But I guess eventually in the game you'll run into characters that'll explain it to you, right?
Because you meet like Alt, the woman who came up with the Soul Killer program that puts your body into like a digital consciousness. You also get to go into the dark web because there's these people called Netwatch who control and keep out like rogue AI, and there's a part of the web that's like unhinged and uncontrolled, and nobody knows what's on the other side. So you get to go on the other side
Like
of the web.
Reddit of AI.
Reddit.
Or what was the other one?
The Reddit of AI. That's not what happened in Cyberpunk. Yeah, just like come out of nowhere. Like there's all these things that you can interact with in the world, and the authorship that Pondsmith laid and what CD Projekt Red took it to is such an amazing thing that regardless, I think that the game is so important, not only for like marginalized identities and authorship and what they could be, but like this whole thing of like Afrofuturism and marginalized people and like how they imagine the future to be and what they could shift it into. Because some of this stuff, he wrote it in like 1988, but like some of this stuff is like actually happening now. Like large corporations that are like almost on the match with like state level and stuff like that. Fake food that we're eating back at home.
Yeah.
You know, crashing into people in cars.
Yeah.
Stuff like that is like really real. But I mean, you would have to go home and like play the whole thing. I didn't expect us to get through the entire thing, but
I mean, we're at 5% playing the whole thing. But super amazing game, beautiful. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank
it's our last show. No. I know, yes. Go home and get like Mantis
thank you
arms
so
put
much.
on
I mean,
you.
it's been super fascinating. I'm excited to unpack all of it in our
Recap?
because we've been all over the place, huh? We went through such different titles and games, and I mean, I really expanded my whole view of the market and of the possibilities and. Yeah, storytelling through it in general. Super interesting.
Yeah, so next time.
But I guess I cannot play this on my Switch, right?
Your Switch will blow up. Your Switch will like.
I have a Switch now. I'm not a noob anymore.
Your Switch will blow up.
Okay, I'll stick to Ori then.
Thank you all for tuning in.
Thank you all so much.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah, please don't miss our recap episode, and I look forward for you all to meet some of our really amazing team members.
Yeah, y'all gonna meet everybody else.
Yeah. Bye.
See ya.